somebody who's not really experienced good VR then?
No, VR is not trash. It's just
the problem.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say the problem is, and this was the problem we noticed.
Beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Discussing that heat in the street, hey, we got just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
I didn't tweet it out, but I put it in the Discord.
Ay. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
Started on
Rockin' with
time.
beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside,
Final round. I already know how I'm coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell them no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they love how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Let me go with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP.
60 seconds.
Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Give credit to NVIDIA engineering. Not you. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dante Crisis back with another Whitley dose of your vitamin G, coming to you as Darth Dante because I got my hood up. Because fuck it, I got no hat on. I don't want y'all seeing my big ass forehead. Fuck that shit. Alright, and today with me is the esteemed panel, the lovely bunch of freaks that I usually like to talk with and y'all like listening to, with no Discord notifications this week, thank God. The boy got the saver. Nice. Alright, first of all, actually, seeing as he's showing off his dark side or Jedi side, I don't know which, because it's not showing the good color. Mr. Nappy Senshi, how are you today, my man? What have you been playing?
How's it going, everyone? This is Nappy Senshi here. I missed last week. I have been doing good. As you see, I am a Jedi. I got my blue saber right here. But as far as games, I have been playing Star Oceans. I've been working on that on PCs. I'm about to finish up Hi-Fi Rush, and of course, I've been playing on Monster Hunter Rise. They just recently released their final update, and so you already know that every year when they release their final update, that means that there's a new Monster Hunter coming sometime sooner or later. Also, I'm also completed another controller review for this controller. This is probably one of the best budget controllers I ever used for PC, so you could definitely check that out. And I am currently working on my mobile gaming review. So, yes, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on my phone using this controller, and it runs very smoothly. And also with that, I've been playing Tales of Symphonia, and I have been playing Skies of Arcadia on mobile phone for this review.
First of all, Skies of Arcadia, my man. I wanna high five you right now, but you're too far away. Second of all, Tales of Symphonia. Show the control one more time.
The controller? Right here.
The handheld one, the console one.
No, this is the PC one.
PC one, whatever. I was lacking.
Yeah,
they can see it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
He forgot to big screen you. That is a nice looking controller.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tales of Symphonia. Is that the remake version or the original?
the original GameCube version. I've emulated it on my phone on this.
Okay.
But right now, even though I got Kingdom Hearts 2 emulated right now, but yeah.
Gotcha. I was just curious because I mean I've heard really bad things about the Tale of Symphonia remaster.
Yeah, just emulate it. I mean, you gotta support the people if it's available, but at the same time, like, ain't nothing wrong with emulating. The game is almost a decade old.
Fair enough. All right. Next one. Mr. Zero, I see you creeping there. What have you been up to, my guy?
What is going on, everybody? Nothing much. Still powering through Marvel Midnight Suns. Again, I absolutely love this game. Just got it's not too much of a spoiler, she's on the cover. Just got the Scarlet Witch. So that's awesome in sort of learning her skill set, her card sets, everything that's going along. As well as it's about that time of the year for me. To revisit one of my favorite old games of all time, which is Zeus, Master of Olympus, made by Insomnia Games, I believe that's what they're called, which is a very city builder set in ancient Greece. You're tasked to build temples to the gods, defend against them, fight with them, all the things that you'd be comfortable seeing in Civilization, just in a more Greek Hercules level format. I think it came out in like 1997, but every year, every other year, I find myself playing this game again, spending a whole bunch of time. I've got like over 200 hours in it. I bought the expansions, and I will be playing the sort of spiritual sequels to them later, called Cleopatra. So hopefully I'll have just as much time as them, which actually, funny enough, apparently somebody had remastered Cleopatra. It just popped up on the Steam store like the other day. So I highly recommend it if you're into city builders. It is not nearly as complicated as Civilization or Age of Empires. It has some of that stuff about taxes and making sure like your people are healthy, but it does not go too deep into the weeds to make things crazy. So other than that, I'm waiting patiently until the 28th for when I am back into the world of Destiny 2. The Witness is here, the Traveler is trying to escape, and we will see what is going to happen.
I got a question about that Zeus game. If you upset the gods, does Zeus shapeshift and fuck your wife?
No, he just tends to walk through town friendly. I imagine, give it more time, probably. But usually he just walks through town and like people see him and they're happy for him to be there, unless you piss off another god and then they'll send name one of the Greek monsters and you got to go like deal with that thing.
Wait, so the Traveler is the bad guy?
Remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kind of twisted that whole fucking thing on its head recently. The Traveler is coming off more as just a like it's a force of nature, like not evil, not good, but it's more it's more of a neutral thing, if that makes sense. Like it will go to a place, do its thing, not really give a fuck about anything, and then fuck off.
Interesting. Because the first Destiny, the very, very first Destiny has that insinuation that the Traveler might actually be the bad guy. But it's interesting.
Yeah, I've said it once before and I'll say it again. Destiny is the best it's ever been. The story is firing on all cylinders. The gameplay is excellent. The gameplay loop is kind of okay. The season stuff, personally, if you're going to get into Destiny, skip the season stuff. Just stick to the big expansions.
If I remember correctly, PlayStation just gave away Destiny Light to the Light DLC.
Yeah,
for
Beyond Light.
Plus.
Yeah, Beyond Light is free for everyone. So it's a sort of condensed version of where we were and where we are to date. There's still some stuff that's missing, but it's not a huge deal. Like, long story short, evil black pyramids are coming to get us, and the big round ball may or may not be trying to save us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically. Oh wait, so when did the ball get introduced?
Well, the Traveler's the ball.
No. You said square. You said squares, didn't you?
No. Triangles or
Oh,
pyramids.
okay. Big
Yeah,
evil. Okay,
yeah.
right.
Big evil black pyramids. And the Witness, who has a pretty awesome design. It looks like a very weird. Its eyes are too big, or its pupils are too big, so it looks like this odd anime character with like the Destiny aesthetic. So it throws me off a bit.
All right, fair enough. All right, next on the list is Mr. Always Late himself, Mr. Jube. How are you today, sir?
Uh,
No, he's still glowing his dreads to his hair. All right,
Mhm.
Omar, where have you been up to? What have you been playing?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? So I started a game called Chariot. It's you as a guy or a woman, you you are pushing literally a chariot, and you go through puzzles, and it's very interesting. Um, a game I recommend. I'm not that far off. I think there is a demo for it, but don't quote me on that one. Other than that, I took a break from Salt and Sanctuary, and I started an obscure game called Hogwarts Legacy. And man, oh man, I'm not that far in, but wow, they have done the world justice with this one. Especially if you're a Harry Potter fan like myself, you're gonna recognize a lot of elements, a lot of spells and stuff like that. And I'm curious where the story is gonna lead me. But that's about it.
Nice. Is you bed there yet?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't realize my mic was unplugged. We're
God
good.
damn it. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead. What have you been up to, my guy? What have you been playing?
Like a dragon, Ishin, all day.
But you're in New Zealand at the moment.
It came out on the 17th. I got the deluxe edition. What you mean?
Oh, okay, just making sure. Because Kofi
Yeah.
said it comes out tomorrow or something.
Maybe I got it now. Playing it, streaming it all day. Really fun. Like I keep getting distracted by so many mini games and shit they keep throwing at you out of the blue. So,
It's fucking Yakuza, of course. Of course, it's throwing mini games at you.
Like, oh, I'm gonna get some noodles. Actually, now you're working in the noodle shop. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. Of course, Hogwarts. I finished Stray over the weekend. That was nice. Well, really sad. I'm not gonna replay it again. I'm not gonna try to plat that. That's much. Um, but yeah, then that's been pretty chill. I got Atomic Heart on the menu tomorrow, along with Legend of Dragoon when that drops onto PS Plus, and yeah, it's gonna be an exciting week.
All right, cool. Pharaoh, what have you been up to, my guy?
I've been playing Crisis Core. That's been the main thing I've been playing. Grinding away through those missions, like almost 50% through one mission. So that's pretty much all I've been doing. Trying to get through this game. Hopefully, I'll finish it this week.
All right, fair enough. As far as myself, I played some more Call of Duty this week because I may have got for a bit last time with Season 2, considering I couldn't play the first few days of it because, as typical Activision goes, fix one thing, break 20 others. Could not, for the life of me, get Call of Duty working for a couple of fucking days until they patched it. They'd legitimately broken it to the point where even safe mode with that game would crash to an error screen. That is incredible fuckery. Incredible.
You haven't called. Interesting.
What?
No, I was gonna say because Call of Duty. I didn't know Call of Duty was you were having issues with Call of Duty.
Yep, I couldn't start playing it until last week because I kept getting an error. XC00000005N, which indicates either it indicates either the game can't handle my overclocking, which is fucking stupid. Can't handle. I need to update my drivers, which is not the problem. And the overclocking, that must have been a new issue because I was playing it last season. It wasn't doing this. Or it's a case of NVIDIA Reflex and the streaming textures being the issue. There is so many fucking things that could be the issue to that error screen. It's hard to narrow down what could have been the problem. So go figure.
Yeah, that I wish I could help out. I wish there was a way to replicate it, but
Yeah,
I got a 2070.
Yeah, I can't get it. Well, my GPU is not overclocked. So that's the thing. That's the bizarro thing. It's my CPU and my RAM that could have been the issue, apparently. But yeah, other than that, was playing. Well, it's fixed now. Like I said, they patched it and it's apparently working. Aside from that, finished Dead Space this weekend. Buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. That game is amazing. I want Motive to continue the series. We must have more fucking Dead Space. It is so goddamn good. Buy it full fucking price and then buy a second copy just for shits and giggles. Like that's how good Dead Space is. Like seriously, it's amazing. One of the best remakes of all fucking time. Seriously, with hand on my heart and my other hand to God. Like it is. Also playing. Then I started playing Black Ops 2 because Black Ops 2 is one of the greatest Call of Duties ever fucking made. I will fight anybody in the street who disagrees with me because y'all clearly have no fucking taste. And also playing South Park: The Fractured But Whole. My God, that game has no chill. That game has absolutely no chill. I had a big giant stripper try and crush me with her booty cheeks. That's all you need to hear.
I remember that. You got to run away from her too.
Yeah, spontaneous booty. I'm gonna crush you with my booty cheeks. Like what the fuck? I love that game.
Did you get to the church part yet?
Oh, you mean the pedophile priests in the closet that want them with you with fucking anal beads? Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I thought that. I was like, oh hell no.
And I was like, this checks out. That's pretty much what I thought. So yes, look out for the Fractured Butthole coming very soon to my platform. All right, so let's move on to the first topic, which kind of leads. We're going to talk about one game, but it kind of leads into the broader aspects of a lot of other problems, and that is the Wild Hearts PC port. Now, here's the thing: from what I've heard, this wasn't just initial PC problem either. This was also a problem on console. Like console was having frame issues as well. But for a game whose specs on PC is the recommended is a 2070 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and give me a second.
Oh
yeah,
787K.
Yep, thank you. Yep, we've recommended of an Intel i7 8700K or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, 2070 RTX or a RX 5700 XT with a storage space of 80 fucking gigabytes, which is actually more than what Dead Space is. And honestly, Dead Space looks fucking better than this game in many regards. Somehow. And I will now stream this. I will now share this for the classroom. There you go. So now Farrell can show this to the class. How this game with a 4080, with an RTX 4080 at 4K, which is 1440p, ultra like max settings minus ray
tracing.
Well, no, yeah, no, I actually think ray tracing is on with this. So I think no minus motion blur. That's it. How this game is barely, not even hitting over 80 frames per second. Like this thing's frame rate is all over the fucking place. Unfortunately, due to the video itself and YouTube compression, I will it won't fully show. But that frame rate is going from around high 60s to high 80s all over the goddamn time.
You should see it when they're fighting monsters. That'd be jumping from 60 to 30 real quick.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've seen it drop even lower. It's almost like a Twitch game at times.
Oh, and there you go. It's dropped right down to 30. Cutscenes are in 30 frames per second, by the way.
Yes.
Why? Yes. I have no idea. But yeah, look at that. That was going. That the loading dropped it all the way to 20 frames per second. Dude, the character creator is in fucking is below 30 frames per second. Holy shit! The character creator was going to 22 frames per second.
That
on
is
4080.
It sucks. I was disappointed. I was looking forward to this game. Oh man. But Koei Tecmo, they decided to come out with a new engine for this game. This Katana engine. And it's called the Katana engine because this engine be slashing frames left and right.
Good one.
For something that was supposed to go against Monster Hunter, and I was excited I was like, oh, this is going to be great. The Capcom's RE engine looks better than this engine. They should have just went with like Unreal. I would have taken Unreal Engine. I would take any other engine. Why did they decide to make a new engine and then make this game run on it, knowing dang well that they're going to need more time in the oven? That Katana engine, like, I understand if you're trying to save money, but damn, like, why? Just why?
They knew that it's not finished, and they released it. That's the issue.
Here's the problem.
And it's $70.
Yep. Also, by the way, here is what you were talking about. He's fighting 3 fucking wolves. 3 of these wolf beasts, and it's dropping to 61 frames. 61 fucking frames. Jesus.
That's mad rough.
On a 4080. Like 2 generations above the recommended.
I think the whole releasing game not unfinished. Well, yeah, clearly.
No,
either unfinished or broken, and then hope for a fix later. It have gotten out of hand.
Because here's the thing, I would like to point out this was not just
for buying these games day one, regardless.
And I'd also just like to point out this is not a this wasn't just a PC issue, by the way. This was also there were frame issues on console as well. I think
PlayStation had it.
Xbox also had it as well. Xbox also had some frame issues as well. I believe this was across the board. Like it is like so this brings, but the worst part is you look at a game like this, like, and all the problems it's had, but for me, I just look at it and I'm questioning how did it get this bad? Like, how did it get this bad? Because then I look at something like I will praise it again, the Dead Space remake that came out that didn't have any of these problems.
That's easy. It's a new engine, a brand new engine. Like, this is the first game.
Now allow me to counterpoint that by turning around and saying, this was a non-first-person shooter on a fucking Frostbite engine. Like, this was a Frostbite engine game that wasn't a first-person shooter. And we've seen how all of those ran in the past, like Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem. Like, there is a long list of Frostbite engine games that ran like shit.
That's
because
Frostbite
they were
engine.
not.
This is Katana engine.
No. I'm counterpointing you saying that this is a new engine, and my counter argument to that would be Dead Space is a third-person shooter on the Frostbite engine, which was specifically built for first-person shooters. So, like
Right.
the fact that it's a brand new engine to me holds no water, because like any programmer worth their salt or any devs worth their salt would have ironed this shit out or foreseen this as a problem. But it feels like they just didn't fucking care.
I have a question. At what point do we hold PlayStation and Xbox accountable for actually allowing this game to be released on their platform? Because
I don't think they
get
knew.
tested. Nah, games get always tested. PlayStation and Xbox people go and check on the build and stuff like that to make sure what they're releasing.
I disagree with that. Way too many games have come out like with really bad optimization for me to believe that's the case anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they probably got dev kits.
It's way too many games coming out every month.
Yeah.
For them
Yo,
to-
Tao out here spitting facts. There is a bunch of reused assets too. That's sad.
Yeah.
How's your engine still fucked with reusing assets on top of that? Like that's trash.
Well, there is actually there is actually a logistical reason why that might be an issue, is because some engines are coded different depending on where this engine. If this is a brand new from the ground engine and not built off of a previous engine, like how like Creation Engine 2.0. They said it was a new engine, but it's basically built off of the original Creation Engine, and how the new engine being used for Call of Duty, they say it's a new engine, but was used for was basically built off the original IW engine. If it's a brand new engine, there's a lot more that goes into porting over assets into a new engine than you think. Like it's not as simple as a drag and drop when it comes to that kind of stuff.
If you design your engine that way, knowing that you're going to reuse assets, that again sounds like a you problem.
Oh no, it is a damn problem that they reused it.
Why wouldn't you? Like, if you were going to reuse assets, like, why wouldn't you put in a contingency into this new engine to make that as easy as possible? Because that's the point. You're reusing assets so you can save manpower and time and not have to rebuild those things. Like, it's just
I'm not defending. I'm just trying to educate people that it isn't a case of like it isn't like Unreal 4 to Unreal Engine 5 where it really is just drag and drop. If you're going from one engine to a completely different engine, you can't just drop assets from like Unreal into Frostbite, for example. Can't be done.
I know. I wasn't saying you were like defending it or anything. I'm just making a point. Like, it's kind of dumb that you would, build this new engine and then not have something like that in place. So it's not a fucking problem. It's what was the point of the new engine? Like it's dumb.
I don't know that. Like I said, usually making a game on a new engine, that's like a bold move. And God, like I honestly wish they could have went with Unreal Engine for all of I care, rather than trying to make their own Katana engine, because this ain't good.
They need to. These studios need to start going the Unreal 5 route, where Unreal 5 released several tech demos to really like probably iron out kinks before they actually release their first title on the Unreal 5 engine.
By the way, Trev, Taz, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that there isn't assets that were used. I'm not saying that they're not reusing assets. I'm saying that it's more complicated to move assets from one engine to another if they are two completely unrelated engines. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not doing it. I'm saying that, to be honest, I've just looked up Wild Hearts because I was curious. Honestly, it being kind of it being a frame choppy mess. Now that I've seen who the developers are, it kind of makes fucking sense. I forgot that the developers of this was fucking Omega Force.
Oh, really? Omega Force?
What did they do, though? What did Omega Force do, then?
Oh, Omega Force is does the Dynasty Warrior games.
Oh.
And they've been doing all of the they've been doing all those spin-offs, like the Hyrule Warriors games and the Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem Warriors game and that. And like, I know it's on the Switch, but those things can't keep a stable frame rate to save their fucking life.
Nope.
Mm. So if that's the case, why the fuck would Koei Tecmo even let them?
They didn't. This, by the way, I'd just like to point out this isn't Koei Tecmo. Electronic Arts published this, not Koei Tecmo.
Then why's their name on it? Why is their name on it then on the Steam?
Because I think Koei Tecmo, I don't know, maybe Koei Tecmo owns Omega Force. I'm not too sure, but
that makes sense.
Because I had you guys
to make those games.
But publisher is under Electronic Arts.
I say
so EA. Just when you thought EA was doing well, they do something like this.
They just published.
Well, they're just publishing.
Yeah,
they don't own Omega Force. They're just the distribution. The EA stamp their name on it to distribute it.
Like this is so to me when it comes to something like this, yes, they do own Omega Force as I thought. So Koei Tecmo own Omega Force. Yeah, see the thing is, Omar, you've kind of got to get out of you've kind of got to separate the two mindset because there is a different mindset between if Dead Space came out and ran like shit, there is precedent to blame EA for it because they own the developer. Like, so they are beholden. So Motive is beholden to EA. Omega Force isn't beholden to EA because EA doesn't own them. So they basically have more freedom to work than what Motive would as far as like release schedules, possibly.
I mean, and EA didn't even say that they were even publishing it until like September of last year, and then it got announced like a week after that. Like, wild.
Yeah. So
I can't put it on them. They're literally just like, I don't feel like Activision should get success for Sekiro, even though they were the publisher for it. I know damn well their devs ain't touch that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, their devs didn't touch. I think they own.
From Software got.
Yeah, no, they did buy the OP. They owned the IP from the beginning.
Oh,
yeah, they did.
Yeah,
and they were just like, "Hey, From Software, make this game."
Well, okay, so yeah, kind of. I think it kind of falls under the same scenario of like Bloodborne with PlayStation. Like, yeah, PlayStation own the IP, but like it's very much a From Software game. Like, no one's going to give PlayStation credit for Bloodborne. They're going to give it all to From Software because From Software are the ones who made it.
I didn't see how many games Omega Force has been. Dynasty Warriors? I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, they're.
Look up their catalog. It will fucking blow your mind how many games Omega Force has made.
You got One Piece, you got Berserk, you got Dynasty Warriors, Dynasty Warriors Gundam, Fists of the North Star. They got a fuck ton of games.
And
Heroes. Yeah.
And the thing is now also I'll turn around and say this because it's very true. The Dynasty Warrior, like, they have been very notorious for they put way too much shit on screen for their games to sometimes handle, and they've done some good games in the past. Like, there's no doubt about it. But they did. Yeah, Persona 5 Strikers. Yeah, they did Strikers as well. Yeah, like I said, it's a fucking Omega Force game when you look at it and you say, "This is Dynasty Warriors with a different coat of paint." Like, that's how you know it's an Omega Force game.
Okay.
Hey, they got one thing right. At least that's their baby, Dynasty Warrior.
Yeah, and they've been doing it since the fucking 90s. Think about
what's up, Yobi?
Hey, Yobi. But yeah, like, for me, this also kind of breeds like a bigger problem when it comes to the whole optimization as a concept as well. Is I said a long time ago. I'm sure some of you guys won't remember. I'm sure Jubei will because he seems to remember some useless shit. I said a long time ago when DLSS came out that some stuff like this was going to have a negative effect. As cool as it is, especially for lower systems, this is going to have a negative effect. Where developers are just going to rely way too much on DLSS, and optimization in games is going to take a massive fucking hit.
Yep, we've had this conversation about crutches. Absolutely, we definitely have.
And now it seems like the whole concept of DLSS being a crutch seems to have now worked its way into recent conversations. There was a YouTube, I think, Skill Up even brought up the idea of I don't know if it was Omega Heart, if it was Atomic Hearts, because I think I was watching his video of Atomic Hearts when he said that people worried about DLSS being a crutch, and you don't have to worry about that with Atomic Hearts because apparently it runs well, performance wise. Like, and I'm like, they kind of hit me. I was like, I've been talking about DLSS potentially being a crutch for a couple of years now, like since DLSS 1 was announced.
Yep.
And now apparently people are openly talking about DLSS being a crutch. I'm like, when did this happen?
When console gamers had to rely on DLSS.
Oh,
well, we don't rely on DLSS. Not every game.
Y'all,
y'all
do now.
There are no console games that use DLSS because we don't have NVIDIA chipsets, sir.
Oh, y'all have Fidelity, AMD Fidelity.
We have Fidelity.
Same damn thing.
But not every game uses. It's not as prevalent as DLSS.
But
There's not a
AMD, but I would also turn around and say that's kind of a non sequitur, because FSR and Fidelity FX is more of a new thing than DLSS.
Yeah, it is. Like AMD's like counter.
Yeah, that's only been out for like a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, we already got FSR2 is about to come out.
Yeah. So like, we're surprised that like that hasn't worked its way more into console games yet, because like even DLSS,
it's in like 30 console games. Like it's not as prevalent.
You'll start, in my opinion, you might end up seeing it in more console games, because again with DLSS that wasn't in every
Deathloop. Like it's in shit like Deathloop. Yeah. It's like,
but like I said, now
Bethesda to use it.
Yeah, now we're in 2.0, because you kind of got to look at the timeline as well, because DLSS, when that came out, that was in a handful of games, even on PC. Like, not everybody was going for that, and then some people implemented it afterwards. It wasn't until DLSS 2.0 that like fucking every damn PC game and their offshoot had it. So now that Fidelity 2.0 is out, I wouldn't be surprised to see it more prevalent in like console games because of the architecture, or at least being used in that regard. Because now we're moving on to DLSS 3. Jesus Christ, I'm going to find games that ain't even NVIDIA native that are going to have DLSS 3 for some reason.
And only 40 series GPUs can utilize DLSS 3.
Yeah.
So everyone's forced to upgrade to the 40 series.
But yeah, I mean, I've been calling that for a couple of years, that in my opinion, like things like DLSS is going to become a crutch, and in many regards it has. Now, thankfully, there are still developers out there, thank you, bless motive, how will be their name, bring out games that you don't need DLSS to run fucking well. Again, blessed be the name Dead Space. But then you just look at, like, if we look at let's have a look at the release schedule for like what the last just since the beginning of the year. Like let's just have a quick gander. Like nothing prolonged, because I mean we've been kind of like just spitballing this conversation, but it's been more of a talking thing. But like we just look at a couple of these games, like there's been more and more games that come out like from first party or from AAA studios that have just not been running well. I mean, Callisto Protocol is one of them, and that was just sheer incompetence in my opinion, because I mean they didn't let you preload fucking shaders. Like that is basic 101. Even Call of Duty's been doing that for years. Fire Emblem Engaged has fucking frame issues, and that's on the goddamn Switch. I believe Forspoken had Nappy. Do you know if Forspoken had issues on the PC
right now? Okay.
Yes,
I
it
heard
had a lot of
mumblings.
issues on the. It had a lot of issues on the PC. Heck, the PlayStation 5 couldn't even run it at native 1080p. That's crazy. But yeah, that game has so many issues. They said they recommended a 1060 at the lowest settings at 720p 30.
That's fucking balls, man. That is
Like
balls.
that game needed fidelity. It needed fidelity like 10.0 or something.
What game is that? Sorry,
Damn.
I missed that.
Forspoken.
Oh yeah, man, them elevated. Get the fuck out of here. Them weird elevated non-optimized specs on PC. Yeah.
Nah, it was crazy. The PlayStation 5 couldn't even run it natively at 1080p, which is insane. I was like, damn, you could at least made the consoles running at 1080p, but they couldn't even get that to run. I was shocked about that one. Like, why?
It sounds like Square Enix is gonna Square Enix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then there's GoldenEye 007. Like, I know for a fact that doesn't even run at fucking 60 frames per second on
Not even on the series. It runs like straight bun cheeks. It's still fun to play. But it definitely runs like buns.
No, that was a copy and paste. They didn't bother making it run
zero
like
zero work.
They just copy and paste.
Which is fucking stupid, because anybody who knows their emulation knows that there is actually a dedicated emulation of GoldenEye on the PC that runs at 4K 60.
And I honestly think Nintendo might have had a hand in as far as how that came out. Because
Nintendo's
just
cheap.
To get permission. No, just to get permission to get GoldenEye. Like, that still had to go through them and various other things. So I think it was just like, you can't really do anything to it, because I guarantee if that backwards compatibility team could have touched that, we'd be singing praises about FPS boost and all that shit. Like, that game should not have issues fucking running, and it does.
Like the only two games I could think of that came out, well, the only 3 games that came out recently that I know didn't have issues is Hogwarts Legacy, because I've not heard anything bad about performance with that game. Dead Space. No. I mean, like, I haven't heard anything severely horrible about Hogwarts Legacy.
I've had some save bullshit happen where I've lost progress and shit. A save glitch.
I'm mainly talking about optimization. I'm mainly talking about optimization.
Yeah, and as far as performance, it's actually to get the uncapped frame rate work. You also have to do that from like the main menu. If you try to do it like in game, it fucks something up. So there's little things about it. Yeah.
Dead Space, again, Hell Be Thy Name, runs like fucking butter. Again, that's some black magic that they ran
better after they took out the FSR. Not the FSR, the whatever the fuck that is, that stupid the sampler SFS. Yeah, I think the thing that like lowers the resolution of shit that's like not important. Like,
oh, I never noticed that from the beginning. And then the other one I know, Metro Prime Remastered, that apparently runs at solid 60, I believe, on Switch. Which again, that shouldn't be surprising. But again, like, you just look at it and you're like, and I look at games coming out. It's like Returnal. If PlayStation's track record is anything to go by, that might have issues at launch. Wild Hearts. I mean, maybe it did, because apparently it was supposed to have already been out. I didn't even notice that. Wild Hearts, Atomic Hearts. Apparently that's going to run well, but I mean, we've seen before that versions that seem to go out. I'm looking at fucking Cyberpunk versions that went out ran better than the full fucking release. So is that a possible problem with Atomic Hearts when that comes out? Who fucking knows?
Atomic Hearts seems to have a different issue, which is with I forgot what it is, but I can pull it up when we talk about it later.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty, is that going to have issues? Like, this is the problem when we look at this, is like down the low we look at all these like AAA games and that, and I just got questions yourself, how's it going to run? Like, we've entered the state of fucking laziness.
I have got
like
to the point.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Pedro.
I was gonna say, I've gotten to the point where I give a game 90 days after it comes out before I touch it. I'm like, I'll give y'all a chance to fix whatever it is y'all need to fix, but I ain't really touching this game for at least 3 months post-release. I don't have to play it day one. Like a lot of these games
That's smart.
are just not.
Our
Yeah.
backlogs are too big.
Yeah.
Our backlogs are too big to really be focused on day one. Sorry, it was VRS, Dante. Sorry, that's the thing that they pulled
VRS.
out.
Okay.
That fixed the.
I never
backwards.
noticed that, and I played that on launch, and I never noticed.
It was
anything.
an issue on the PlayStation. Like they had to.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
right. Fucking PlayStation dragging it down for all of us. But yeah, like I just. It seems like it's a mixture of sheer incompetence, like making a fucking brand new engine, which, I mean, I don't necessarily, like, another counter argument I would turn around and say with the whole, it's ballsy to make it on a new engine, but, like, fucking, Capcom did it with Resident Evil. Like, they made Resident Evil 7 on the RE engine, and that was a brand new engine.
The RE engine, that they had the engine for a long time, like for RE 5, 6, like that's their baby. That's Capcom's baby right there. It runs Monster Hunter. They made the optimized version just for Monster Hunter Rise to make it run smoothly on the Switch. Like that RE engine, like that's the one thing Capcom got. Boy, that RE engine is something.
That RE engine is nice. It is.
It is.
They did it right.
That RE engine, in my opinion, is one of the best engines around, and the reason why is because it's a unilateral engine. It can literally do anything, in my opinion. You can do first-person shooters, third-person shooters, hack and slash games, open world games.
And don't forget fighting games. SF6
fighting games, yeah,
on the RE engine, and it is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, honestly, people were scared for when they heard that Monster Hunter World was going to run on RE engine. People were scared as hell at first. It was like, yo,
no,
you gotta like SF5 used Unreal 4, and it showed. Like, I'm so glad that they're using RE engine for SF6. Like,
but like when they
Monster Hunter World doesn't run on RE engine.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Monster Hunter World?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, if it did, it would run a lot better than it does.
And it'd look a lot better. No, Monster Hunter, it isn't. Monster Hunter Rise, I believe, is.
No, Monster Hunter World runs on RE engine. Hold on, let me just double check.
It isn't. It doesn't run on the RE engine. Trust me, brother. It doesn't. It runs on the MT framework.
It runs on MT framework. That is not RE.
Yeah, that's MT framework.
That's an old engine. Like MT framework is like that. That's like the Havoc engine. Like that's the engine that we used back in the days.
That's Lost Planet. That's an old ass engine.
That is an old RE engine. That's an old Capcom engine. They break out when they need to.
Marvel versus Capcom 3. Like that's that old ass engine.
It's not a bad engine, mind you.
It's not, but our RE is just so much better.
But no, it's Monster Hunter Rise that runs on the RE engine, brother.
I thought it was Monster Hunter World ran REG. I got a mistake.
No, so all World runs on it. The Mega Man games run on it. Capcom Beat 'em Up Collection runs on it. Yep. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and the Capcom Fighting Collection all run on MT.
It's one of the reasons why Monster Hunter Rise runs so well on Switch, in my opinion, is because it runs on the RE engine.
Yep.
Like, again, that fucking engine. Like I don't know what Eldritch fucking got. They sold their souls to make the RE engine, but goddamn, it's one of the best engines, in my opinion, that's been around in years. Like the only thing that engine has yet to do, now that we've got the 40 series out, maybe they can do it, is run fucking ray tracing. Like the only one I can think of that has ray tracing is the Devil May Cry for console. You fucks.
You talking about Devil May Cry 5? Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 is the only RE engine I can think of that has ray tracing, and it's exclusive on consoles. You fucks.
You didn't mod yours in?
Pardon?
I'm gonna say they got mods, man.
I know they've got mods, but fuck them for having that.
No,
seriously,
their implementation of ray tracing isn't full shebang though.
Like that should have been a free update for PC and then sell us the Virgil DLC. Fuck giving them console fucks.
Virgil DLC. We already have Virgil in before the DLC came out.
I know mods. I know mods are amazing. I know.
But we got local co-op on Devil May Cry.
That is very true. That is very true. We also have co-op on Elden Ring, like better co-op. Because PC Master Race. But no, seriously, on a serious note, like what do you guys? Where's the bottom for you guys? Like I want to end this off on everybody's opinions instead of just me and Nappy talking. Where's the bottom fall out in all of this? Like there's just this shitty optimization across the board for games. Where does the bottom fall out for you guys? Jubei, you go first.
I mean, shit. If we start seeing this across first party, that's going to be a major problem because a lot of this has been coming from like third party, second party, unless you're on the Switch. But like, fuck me, I'm just taking it like if it runs like garbage on PC, woof. We're like on the console side, I expect it to also run garbage. Like these games are developed on PC. Like you can't get it to run there, you have a big fucking problem. Like that, it's unbelievable. Like that is literally how you ship your other fucking version. Build this shit on a fucking PC. So how is this still happening? Why? Because people are still pre-ordering shit. People are still, willing to pay their money to these devs. So it's like they don't care if they got to patch it afterwards. They already got paid. Like, we got to stop that. Like we have to vote with our wallets at some point. I mean, the casual fan that doesn't care if they don't look into the specs of things. They just want to play what they want to play.
I
Like
mean,
they're not gonna
at least
trying
let
to
the
explain
game,
like frame rate dips to like a fucking casual is difficult because
like,
they don't know any better. But
Hey, like I don't care. I just want to play the game. I'm getting the game because I like it.
exactly. Like there's people that like don't think that there's an issue with Pokemon.
I would.
Those of
yeah,
us that
yeah, bro.
know that there's an issue with Pokemon, but there's some people that think, oh, it's just another Pokemon game.
The
Like,
kids
I'm
don't
not-
know
I'm
it's
not-
an issue with
I don't care about
Pokemon,
that.
and those are the main purchasers of Pokemon. Or the main
I don't
players,
care. They just
I
want to
should
catch
say.
Pikachu.
The main players of Pokemon, I should say, are kids. But yeah. I mean, I think step one is we have to start demanding demos again. That needs to
Yep.
be a thing.
Yes. You guys definitely need demos.
Or at least or at least like 5 to 10 hour game trial before you have to purchase the game.
It's funny. EA tried to charge $5 to play Wild Hearts for 10 hours.
Yeah, it's part of their EA access.
Oh,
So
it is
EA
part
Play.
It is part of EA access.
yeah,
I saw that shit. I was like,
So if you
I
have
mean,
EA
if
access,
you have Game Pass Ultimate, you could have played it for 10 hours early. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a perk.
yeah, if you have Game Pass,
no,
Ultimate.
it's not.
It is.
If
If you have Game Pass, like me and Farrell will play Madden early because of Game Pass.
Game Pass Ultimate, yeah, it's part of the EA access. If it's in EA access, you get like a free 10 hours.
If it's an EA game, you get 10 hours like a week before the game comes out or some shit. Like before the game comes out, you can play the first 10 hours.
But
and
you need game
carry
trials.
your progress over. But you absolutely do need game trials for sure.
Yeah, 2-hour game trials is enough because then you'll be able to get a good. You're not ruining the whole game because like the biggest problem with demos, and because demos are vertical slices of a game. Like this is the biggest problem: is demos are vertical slices of a game that can be polished up and tuned as individual pieces to give a false impression. Which is why game trials of a full game, like the game is out, and you can play 2 hours of it or an hour and a half, and then that will give you a good idea of if the performance is ass, if the gameplay is ass, or anything like that. Like trials are the better way to go about it than demos.
Oh, definitely.
Demos are good. Yeah, demos are good for figuring out about the gameplay aspects and possibly maybe the graphical aspect, but and maybe a story aspect. But for trials are the way you find out about a game's performance.
Yeah, I honestly think like they should tie that in. Like if you pre-order a game, you should have like a 1 to 2 hour. Like you should be able to play the first 2 hours of the game before
that would be awesome.
Comes out. That way. You can justify your purchase. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can make it through that, then cool. But if not, you have the option like, oh, fuck that. Like, I don't want to play this. Cancel my fucking pre-order. But the option should be there.
Agreed.
That way, we're not waiting in the dark, waiting for this shit to come in the wild. Our money's already spent. And then it's like, did we buy a lemon? Or, are we going to be pleasantly surprised because we did, like the game actually plays?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I would say number one is game demos / trials. Stop pre-ordering. Like, you
Mhm.
know,
Like,
gotta.
if they tie it to pre-orders, then you don't have to stop pre-ordering. But if they don't, absolutely, fuck that.
Yeah,
Like,
Here's
Yeah.
like we're buying too many games, and like these games are even in like some of these like previews that we see of the game, we're seeing that the game is not necessarily showing in a great light, and we're still purchasing the game because we have love for the developer or the IP. Give them time to fix it. No point in buying a game day one and having a diminished experience. Just let it come
Yeah.
out, let them fix it, and then
FOMO,
come back
eh?
to it when it's ready and enjoy it.
I think the main people that can release a game day one that's okay is probably a fucking indie game, which is sad because their game has to be. It has to
Yeah,
be.
they don't have that
It
luxury.
effectively has to work because of how indie games work. Like, it has to.
The
They
issue
don't
is
have the money for it to fail.
the issue is FOMO.
That too.
Fear of missing out, that exclusive whatever cosmetic that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. Like,
And
you
some
just
people don't want to be spoiled.
the problem is like a lot of these developers are just forgetting, despite the fact that like they're doing all of like we're seeing this with in my opinion, like as far as like them pushing out games that are unoptimized. Like we're starting to see the bottom fall out with with a lot of live service games, like a lot of them tanking, and the latest one being Metaverse. I mean, Jubei, you've praised Metaverse before about how fun it was, but the problem is they rushed it out. They didn't have enough content to
No, it's
sustain
not
it
even that they
initially.
rushed it out. They were already doing nerfs in a time where it's like the people that are going to play this game weren't really established yet. You let a bunch of casuals determine the meta for that game, and then you fucked yourself.
Yeah, like that is one issue, but like that's part of the issue, and one of them being like
But
there just wasn't it wasn't released as a complete game, like
But
in my opinion.
when you take away the legs from people that play fighting games, like when you're just nerfing characters because the casuals who are garbage at the game can't get good, like, you now take away our incentive to want to fucking play the game. And if you lose the fighting community to your fighting game, it dies. It dies a very swift death. We saw it with Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Like, as soon as like people that like go to Evo
Oh,
and
that
shit,
was
as soon
a
as they said
lot
fuck
more.
that game, soon as they said fuck that game, it was dead. It immediately died.
Like, and then, but a lot of my point is a lot of these developers, even though they're trying to put out more content, they're not realizing it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like, you shouldn't sprint to be the first one out. You should race to be the best conditioned, which a lot of these games aren't.
You should have your first 2 years already roadmapped and planned and ready to fucking go before your game comes out. Like, they're doing it, and then they're doing that part after the game is out, instead of like the game's out and then, hey, 3 months after the game, there's already new content. Like, you have to already have that shit done.
But here's my problem with that. With even with that kind of idea, one of the biggest problems, and Call of Duty kind of has this problem, because I'm playing season 2 right now of Modern Warfare 2. Like, they released two new guns for this season. They released 2 new maps for multiplayer, and they released a brand new map for which is Resurgence, and for Warzone and DMZ. And like, I've already been like, the 2 maps barely get any rotation. Like, I've seen one of them multiple fucking times, and I'm already kind of sick of it. The new guns, the new shotgun is fucking overpowered. Like, it is disgusting. The new assault rifle is cool, but it's a whisper because it uses they've added a new ammo system to have 300 blackout, which basically makes it a damn near whisper to hear. Like, but like, that's supposed to sustain us for like for 60 days, and I'm like, you could have at least added, like, maybe, because like your map packs, you release map packs like every, like, what was it, 2 months, and they had like 5 fucking maps to them back in the day. It's like, you're giving me 2 maps for 2 months. I've already ran through those maps, and I already know I hate one of them, and it is Dome. Like, you fought Dome so fucking hard. Fucking Dome sucks so much dick. At least with the embassy, at least with the museum, I can turn around and say I like it, because there's different levels. It isn't just free lane. Like there's multiple levels. You can go up and over it. Like, but with Dome,
did they put Terminal back in the game or no?
No, Terminal's not in the game yet. No,
I love that man.
I love Terminal as well. But like Dome's there, and it's the worst. Like it is fucking awful.
Never liked it. It's trash. You're right.
But like they added Infected. That's kind of fun. But the problem is people have already found out how to glitch themselves out of the maps that have been in the game from the very beginning to avoid being killed by the Infected. Like, how do you fuck the map, the mode that bad?
We don't have Rust either, do we?
No, we don't have Rust. But like,
we get bullshit ass fucking shipment.
We got Dome. No, we got Dome. Shipment at least is good for the fucking weapon grind. Like, but that's about all it's good for. I mean, for fuck's sake, this season they actually added hardcore, like actual fucking hardcore from Modern Warfare 2019 instead of that shitty tier 1. It's like, dude, these are things that should have been in the beginning. Like Dome should have been the shit. Like fucking Rush should have been in the. It should have started with more maps. Like. DMZ still in fucking beta. In fact, there's a problem. DMZ, they deleted everybody's progress with DMZ.
He did. I'm glad I didn't really touch the mode. So
I did not touch that mode.
DMZ's fun though. That's the worst part. DMZ is so fun. Like I'd recommend people play it if they turn around and say that they're not going to do that. Like next season, like if they turn around and say, okay, season 3, we're not going to wipe everybody's shit. Then I'd recommend people play DMZ because DMZ can actually be fun and it gives you a shitload of experience for your battle pass as well.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but a lot of these live service games needs to take a page out of the Fortnite book. Regardless of how you feel about it, that game has content. A lot of fucking content. All the time. There's always
yet to touch that.
But the thing is Fortnite released as a fucking full game. Like, it's just no one remembers the full fucking game because everybody just played the Battle Royale.
I do.
Yeah, everyone went to straight to the
still have access. I still have access to save the world.
That's my point. Like
making progress there, but yeah.
And the problem is
when that was the only part of the game. Like I enjoyed that part of the game, and then Battle Royale happened, and I'm like, well, fuck, y'all just literally never touched this.
Yeah, like I said, this comes down to it's a marathon, not a fucking sprint, and these developers need to stop rushing out their games to unoptimized bullshit. Now, speaking of bullshit, this is I can see this next topic being one that me and Senshi get deep in the roots and the grass for, so everybody else can go outside and touch grass. The next topic we're going to be talking about is Tencent scales back their VR hardware plans, and leaning into this is going to be like just the general like state of VR and like the problems in there. So Pharaoh, do you have the article? No, Okay,
very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, management and publishers can do way more.
I do agree with that, but the problem is at the end of the day, money talks, and now we're starting to see the bottom fall out of that fucking money when it comes to these live service games. Yeah. Like the worst part is we could have seen this fucking years ago when it came to these live service games, because like if you look back in the day, like this isn't the first time we had live service games. Who remembers Gotham Imposters? That was a live service game.
360 days.
Not even great. I played that game for maybe 45 minutes and I was not amused.
Live service, we got World of Warcraft, RuneScape.
I always looked at it as like a knockoff of that fucking mode from Assassin's Creed Brothers.
But I would say the difference there is like essentially with RuneScape, and that is it's kind of like ESO, because ESO kind of dragged itself back from the dead, as well as Final Fantasy 14. Yes, they're live service games, but the thing is, they release actual fucking content.
A lot of it, yeah. And ESO's main problem is like a lot of that shit wasn't doable solo. Like they forced you to play with friends, and if you didn't have friends playing the game, like that game was not very fucking fun. Now that you can actually solo a lot of that shit, it's a different game.
Destiny 2 is another good example of that. Like when they got their heads out of their asses and realized we're fucking up here, we need to actually release content. Holy shit, massive resurgence. Yeah, Destiny 2 is probably as populated as it's ever fucking been, in my opinion, since launch.
Yeah, they already smacked my card for Lightfall. I already know.
All right, I sent it in Twitter. I'm going to start reading off this article, so you can bring it up.
It's up on the screen.
Farrell. Okay, so Tencent, one of the world's biggest game publishers, has scaled back plans to take on the metaverse with its own VR hardware. According to a new report from Reuters, the Chinese company is set to trim back its plans and personnel by cutting costs and headcount at its extended reality XR unit. It's unclear how this will impact 300 employees currently working in the department, which was only set up in June last year. The big PSVR 2, God, daddy's so fucking stupid, review, PlayStation VR 2, yeah, that's the review of it. Whilst Tencent isn't talking publicly about the changes beyond admitting that it was making adjustments to some business teams, sources close to the situation report that parts of the issue is its lengthy process of making hardware profitable. Internal forecasts reportedly confirm that developing and selling its own VR system is unlikely to become profitable for Tencent until 2027. Sources also say that the lack of promising games may also be an impact to the decision to scale back. Under the company's new strategy as a whole, it no longer quite fit in, a source says. Tencent recently reported that it is resetting its mergers and acquisitions AMA strategy by focusing on buying majority stakes, mainly in overseas gaming companies. Tencent traditionally acquires minority stakes and was content with being a passive financial investor, but it is now aggressively seeking its own majority or even controlling stakes in overseas targets, chiefly in the core gaming sector. Metaverse assets are also reportedly of interest to Tencent. Okay, first of all, so I'm gonna hit this. First of all, I don't want Tencent in any more of my games. I don't. I don't. Like, I'm going to put my bias out there, just so everybody is fully aware of it. I do not trust Tencent as a company. Let me restart my camera because apparently my camera is frozen on stream.
Yeah, no, okay. Don't agree. Tencent trying to take over a whole game industry. They're trying to monopolize the whole thing.
Like, I blame Microsoft for this. No, let me finish. Let me actually.
Oh yeah, no, I'm listening.
Okay, because this whole going into and trying to like grab as many companies as you can seems to be a direct response to Microsoft effectively doing the same goddamn thing. Because I believe Tencent also had stakes inside of Activision.
Yeah,
so
Activision, Ubisoft, everything.
Exactly. So I do see this as almost a direct result of Microsoft trying to buy everything, and Tencent's now like, we want to buy everything now as well. We've got the fucking money too. We want to buy everything because if we don't, Microsoft's going to own it all anyway, and we want that money. Not only that, but despite what Tencent has it says, and because the parent company of TikTok has tried to say the same thing. They are still beholden to the Chinese government, so I do not trust them with my information as much as I will give them the bare fucking minimum. I'm just throwing my bias out there so everybody understands why I really don't care about Tencent trying to enter the VR market or the fact that they're backing out of it. For me, this kind of leads into a bigger issue in the state of VR, but I want everybody else's opinion on Tencent rolling back, entering the VR market. Nappy, what do you think?
I think Tencent's just more so trying to make money, and the biggest thing is that like they probably see as it's not as profitable to make like these new VR headsets, which kind of sucks because I don't know. I know on the console side there's probably not too many VR games, but on the PC side, a lot of indie developers has made a lot of fun like VR games on the PC side. Heck, we still even got VR chat. It's free to play, run by the community. All is fucking great in VR. And all the stuff you could do is crazy. It's what the metaverse wish they could be.
Yeah.
So, but I do Tencent like stepping away from VR. I think it's just the biggest thing is like developers are not looking at VR as a profitable thing. They've been focusing on just making regular games. And also the cost of entry for consoles, released for PlayStation people, was like $500, I believe, for console people to
Omar,
get
how
VR.
much is the PSVR? How much is the PSVR 2? 500. There you go.
500? Jesus, that is a big cost of entry. I mean, I Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook. I mean, the VR is a lower cost of entry. I hate the fact that they add extra to the VR space.
$549.99.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
500
my
then.
Jesus.
If you get it with a game.
What happened to like the cheap quests that were like $300? Play some VR chat.
Yeah, the Quest 2 is currently going for £400 right now.
Oh. Yeah, that kind of sucks, but I mean, it makes sense. I wish developers would make more games for VR, so that way it gives you guys more of an incentive to buy.
Okay, so there's we'll get into that actually in the next.
I mean, yeah, don't me wrong. I already know about the chip shortage and everything else. Yes, I already know that everybody is fighting for chips. I mean, look, Taiwan is like a hot between going a little bit of government. America, United States, and China. They've been fighting over Taiwan because that's the main source of where majority of the chip manufacturers come from.
Yeah.
So, like, don't get me wrong, everybody's been fighting for chips. That's why.
And why the US government, and like, just to get a bit more political, that's why the US government wants to set through actually got bipartisan support, because like America wants to ramp up their production of that.
Yeah,
and that's such a volatile market.
Yeah, right now America. Yeah, like. I mean, as of right now, I think they probably run it back because I understand that the cost of entry is still extremely high. And I think later on down the line, like hopefully as we start getting our own semiconductors and start pushing out more chips out there for Sony Microsoft already got all the chips. They fucking just buy them in a shit ton for all the other companies, but they will start making now incentivized with VR support. Fucking awesome.
All right.
Why don't he do that with RE8 or RE Village?
Village, that's stupid, and I castrate anybody who calls it that. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
I also question, like, I'm sure there was an exclusivity on it, but I question why the fuck is that? Why is RE7 still VR still exclusive to PlayStation? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
But they paid for it.
Shut up. Anyway, Jubei, you next. What are your thoughts on Tencent pulling out of the VR market? He's adjusting that Sonic bandana. I kind of want it though. Or no, it's a do-rag. Right, anyway, first of all, Zero, what are your thoughts on it?
It sounds. I sort of agree with Nappy. It feels like it makes sense. I think that the VR space is still new to a lot of people, and Tencent's a big company. They're chasing the dollar, and they want to get in before it's too late, but are starting to realize like this is a big investment that may or may not pay off. It is yet to be seen if the PSVR 2 is going to have legs. Hopefully so, but that's part of the challenge is developers have to make those games. And if developers really aren't making those games, it's going to be really difficult to get people to like care about it. It will be a fun little thing to have for a little bit. Beat Saber is always a good time. You get people over, you swing the controllers around. But like even little things like VR chat, which is this whole transformative experience in the VR space, is not for console. It's only for PC. And I don't know what Tencent's plans were as far as like I'm assuming they were going to make a PC device. Just because I don't know what only Microsoft would be the only company they could go to say, hey, would you guys like a VR device as well, since Sony already has theirs and Nintendo stopped doing theirs. And I'm not sure Microsoft's terribly interested in VR. So it clearly makes sense. I don't know if I think people keep viewing VR as the next frontier, and I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be it can certainly exist alongside console games, but I don't think it's the new thing. I don't think it's going to replace console gaming. Not unless we evolve into whatever Ready Player One is doing in the Oasis. But people still just want to sit down in front of a TV, not put anything wieldy over top of their face, and just like play with the controller. Real simple, in and I'm out. There is no need to like do all of this. So I Tencent is smart as far as I'm concerned. Like I'm also glad they're not getting into the space. I think I think the players in VR are here, and it's up to them to make it what it is going to be. And there's going to be some other one popping in and popping up, but I think they saw it's probably not worth their money just yet. And what I wouldn't be surprised is if they wind up just buying stake in a VR company and going that route. I just don't see how they can compete, honestly, with the Quest, with the HTC, the PSVR.
That's not even okay. So we'll get into that in the state of VR. Sorry.
Yeah, I just don't think they can compete. So I think it's good for them to pull out. Hopefully they turn their eyes somewhere else. Because I honestly I don't know if there's any room for them. I really don't. They can probably try to buy their way in, but I think that's the best case scenario for them.
You bet. What do you think?
My biggest thing with VR is like it's the price point. Like you have these budget headsets like the Quest and shit, but you understand what you're getting with that. Like there's limitations that like you're definitely not pushing like the VR medium forward. You're just making it easily accessible. But most of the shit on there is like outside of like Beat Saber and a couple of things. Like it's kind of meh, you know. Just in general, like the Meta Quest 2, like it's a budget headset for a reason. There's things that it will just not be capable of doing. And then you have the higher end headsets, and that's where you start losing people because that entry price point is stiff. You know what I mean? Like we're it's like kind of like the conversation around like graphics cards and shit. Majority of PC owners don't have high end cards because of the price of entry to get into that kind of tech. So most people are running mid range and the like. But I feel like Tencent kind of saw that and was like, okay, so if we want all these features to compete with like the PSVR 2, like as far as like a feature set, this is about to be $1,000 headset. We know that we're not going to get profit on that for several years, so we're going to have to sell that at a loss. And on top of selling it at a loss, we're also selling it to a niche audience. Like it's literally a lose-lose if you don't already have like a set base. Versus Meta's like they have a high-end headset, they also have a low-end headset, so they're hitting both markets there. Because that regardless of performance and all that other shit, that the Quest does sell because it's cheap and it's easy to get, and people that want that can just get it. But I personally don't think the PSVR 2 is going to sell at $550. Like it'll probably sell when it's closer to $350. Yeah, it'll start selling at that point. But getting to that point is going to be tough. Like I don't want to pay a console price for something that I can't use on my PC. It's not out of the box without having to do more extra work. Tencent just sees that as a losing out. Like we know hardware doesn't make profit. We've known that for years, even in the console space. Like they sell these consoles at a loss generally, unless it's a handheld.
I mean, look at you got something to remember when Xbox made the Kinect.
Yep.
And that flopped.
Well, the first Kinect didn't flop.
Well, the 360 Kinect did not flop. Actually, the 360 Kinect
I'm sorry,
like a motherfucker.
It did so. I'm sorry. The Xbox One Kinect.
Yeah, that one.
The Xbox One Kinect flopped because
the Xbox 360 one. Well, it's not just that.
$500 console.
It's not just that, but like people like the Xbox One, the Xbox 360 Kinect didn't flop because it was brand new tech and everybody was desperate for new shit on Xbox 360. And then they realized it was like the reverse. It was the Wii situation. Like we bought it, it was a gimmick. We realized there was fuck all on it, so we moved on to greener pastures. And then when they tried to do it, we realized, oh, the pickings are even fucking slimmer. Oh, it's spying on me while I fucking sleep. Yeah, no, thank you. Fuck off.
And it's Dante, you forget it's also $500. Like the 360 Kinect was like $150. You could just
I agree.
Yeah, I remember.
You didn't need to buy a whole console, but like if you wanted to connect, what they fucked up was It should have been standalone. That way, if you wanted it, you could have it. Like when they force you, the only way you're gonna get it is if you buy an Xbox One.
To me, they lost me when they turned around and said it watches you while you sleep.
Oh yeah, it's connected to the internet 24/7.
I mean, but we're also on the internet 24/7. So I mean, like that, we're not too far off from that. We're already...
Actually, I would say this: you can't complain if you use TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. If you have TikTok, they're reading your messages. They're already.
I don't. Yay, I don't. So I can't complain. Anyway,
I'm not allowed to.
I used to not. But my fiance semi-forced me, so now I'm a TikTok user. So
you can't talk.
Wait, how does your wife force you?
Gunpoint, like severe gunpoint. Have you ever been to where? You ever been to where Omar lives? You can buy a fucking AK for cheap. She holding him.
I mean, don't be wrong. I forgot military, human division. We had a shit ton of AKs in our unit. Literally left one in the mud for 5 days. I just picked it up, wiped the mud off, and fired down range.
It's no the power. It's the power of the flowers, sir. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Omar,
there's no arguing with that.
Omar, what are your thoughts on Tencent leaving the VR space?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna step up instead. And when it comes to what Microsoft started, yep, that's what I was afraid of. And I'm curious what's gonna happen with that whole thing. But I'm genuinely curious if maybe Apple gonna step up or not. We will see. But as for Tencent, I agree with. I forgot. I think Nappy said it. No. Zero said it. They're gonna buy some share from some company and call it today.
They want Ubisoft.
Okay, right. We'll get. Okay, Pharaoh, have you got anything to say? Because we'll get into this in a second. We're gonna get into all this. Me and Nappy are basically gonna lay it down for you guys.
I was gonna say that Zero would agree with me when I say the Wii Sports is probably one of the greatest games of all time.
Yep,
absolutely.
Easily. And
Switch Sports does not come close. It's not close. It's not close at all.
It's good, but nothing beats Wii bowling.
I was more of a baseball guy, but yeah,
I was one.
Oh, were you gonna say that?
Huh? I was gonna say I was at sword fighting. I was always playing the sword fighting on the Wii.
Yeah, the fencing.
Yeah, the fencing.
Oh, Red Steel. Oh.
Yeah.
So I mean, VR just is not a viable mainstream gaming avenue yet. I won't quite say it's niche because I think a lot of people are playing. I just don't think it's big enough where Tencent can get into the market, sell enough hardware, and then turn over software sales at a rate that it would generate the profit.
I think if you don't have a dedicated studio to making VR games, you shouldn't bother. Like you need a studio whose only job is making them.
Do Sony want to do that? I'm surprised Sony want to do that.
That's actually something I'm going to bring up in the next.
Like just adding. You can play fucking GT7 in VR. Like
okay, that's right. You know what? Then let's move into. I want to move into like the whole state of VR because me and Nappy being in the PC space, we're a lot more on the pulse when it comes to that kind of thing. But obviously, me being on the console side of things as well, like I got a good shot. I've got a good thing for that as well. See, the thing is the barrier to entry isn't just the price. Like the price is a problem. It's less of a problem on PC when it came to the Quest because the Quest 2 came out. And here's the thing: the Quest 2, the Quest 2, like. Those are no slouches. Like they do have some power behind them. I mean, the Quest 2 has 2 screens at 1832 by 1920 in both eyes. So put it together, like that's a big view, and it's got a refresh rate of 120 hertz. And it can also be tethered to your PC. Like, it's not just a standalone thing. It
And
can
how
also
much
go
does it
into your
cost?
PC. That one's the
I
more
think-
high expensive one. That's the £400 one, but that's Amazon price. So I'm sure you guys could probably find it for much cheaper in the US.
It's like $350.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
it's $350.
$350.
Okay, so how is that
350.
compared to the PSVR 2?
About
Quest?
$200 fucking less.
$200.
No. I said about
Yeah.
specs.
I'm gonna look up the specs right now. Because again, this is a PlayStation a PC VR. This is the cheapest one you can get on PC. I'm trying to find the fucking specs. Yeah, so the PS2 VR is 2000 by 2400 OLED screens. The refresh rate is the same, so it does have bigger screens. And if you play it just on just for the Meta thing, it's wireless, which the PSVR isn't. But my point is, comes to VR, and this is specifically to console, because this isn't necessarily a problem for PC. The biggest fucking games. If there was more third-party games allowed to be on the consoles, you'd see it. Like, for example, you'd see an uptick, because I mean, I can name a couple of games for the PlayStation VR off the top of my head, and you tell me if any of these sound like not just appetizing games, but also games that seem at all interesting. Like, there's Batman Arkham VR, Everyone's Golf VR, The Room VR, Arizona Sunshine, that's also on PC, Ghost Giant, Moss, Rick and Morty's Virtual Reality, Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, Super Hypercube, Res Infinite, No Man's Sky Beyond, Vacation Simulator, Falcon Age, Trover Saves the Universe, Thumper, Wipeout Omega Collection, Firewall 0 Hour, Blood and Truth, which that one was released by Sony. And I think that's one of the only fucking games they released for the VR. For their own VR. For their own fucking VR. Super Hot VR, Doom VFR, Resident Evil 7, Job Simulator, Tetris Effect, Astro Bot Rescue, that is another one, and Beat Saber. Like, those are just off of a list in my head, and some off the top of my head. Only 2 of those were released by Sony. Maybe 3 if I stretch it. But like, the problem is these companies are not, they're dipping their toes into this space and then immediately recoiling. If it doesn't sell gangbusters, they immediately bug the fuck out. But the problem is the games that they're offering are just not that good in general. Like, they're mid as fuck. Like, Batman Arkham VR is basically just an interactive. It's just an interactive shit. Like, there's no actual gameplay to that thing. So when you've got offerings like that, who the fuck's going to buy a VR headset for Batman Arkham VR? Like, that's the problem thing.
Is there something to be offered on PC?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's like, actually, we got 6,000 different VR games on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And Quest can play.
So would you say
majority of those
VR is
No,
good?
hold on. The Quest 2 can play all of them.
Yeah,
Quest-
I'm like,
Quest
yeah,
2
it
can
can
play
play,
all
it
of
can play
them.
all of them, and PlayStation does not have access to that, and you still got to be tethered to a PlayStation. Like, you can play
Like,
Quest
is it
wireless,
the
or you
Quest-
can hook it up to your PC and play
So
all those PC games.
As much as I hate Zuckerberg, sorry, because we all know he's part of the Borg collective. Like, his Quest 2 is wireless, and then you can only use the Quest thing, right? But if you tether it to your PC with a cable, you can pretty much access your Steam library, to my knowledge.
Yes,
So you can
can.
play all of these games. And
I
let's just go down my list. Arizona Sunshine, Doom VFR, Elite Dangerous, The Forest, Half-Life Alyx, Killing Floor Incursion, which was also on console, but shit on console because it didn't have free aim. It didn't have a free movement. Hold on.
Don't forget Sword and Sorcery.
Sword and
That's a good
Sorcery.
one.
No Man's Sky also got the VR update. Pavlov VR, which is one of the most realistic fucking like you can just fuck around inside of the shooting range and just fuck around with the guns, and it's entertaining because they're so realistic. But it's basically Counter-Strike real life.
Yep.
Payday 2, Phasmophobia, Prey Typhoon Hunter, which I think might have been on console. Serious Sam 3 VR, BFE, Zords of Bria,
I have a
VR
question.
Chat, The Walking
Doom.
Dead.
You forgot Doom.
I know I did say Doom VFR. I did say
Okay.
Doom.
Okay.
Like, and then we're also gonna get Among Us VR as well, if that's not already out to my knowledge. But like we have so many.
We already got that.
Okay, you guys saw over 6,000. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
My question then is VR big on PC?
Yes, like
Yes.
it is actually
Yes, it
rather,
is.
it is actually rather profitable, and that's only with 2 competitors. Like that's the thing right now in this space. This is something that Zero mentioned that I needed to kind of walk him back on. Is the HTC Vive isn't really a competitor anymore. They don't compete. Like that's old hat. They haven't released anything new because that was the one that they released with Valve, and then Valve split off and did their own one, which is the Valve Index. So they're not Valve Index and the Quest, and God knows what Gaben's doing with his VR department at the moment. For all we know, they're working on the VR2 or the Valve Index 2, and we'll probably see that in about 20 fucking years because we don't know how they feel about restarting projects. But
I mean, so avoiding number 3, they collecting that 30% though.
Yeah, but like so that's the thing with VR. There is no to go to the to go to Zero's point about competitive. There is nobody to be competitive with in the VR space. Like there's 2 headsets. One of them sells for $1,000, which is the Valve Index. Which that's because that thing's a goddamn fucking unit, like an absolute fucking unit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In both power and also like size. And then there's the Galaxy Quest, which honestly for me would be a bigger, which I would get a Quest if losing my Facebook account didn't mean I lost all my fucking games attached to it. But like with the PC market, the VR space is very open because it's being held up by developers who are adding VR after the fact, like No Man's Sky, like Elite Dangerous, but it's mainly being held up by indies.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a bunch of indie games. 6,000. I'm pretty sure a good 5,500 that's like indie games,
and most of them are probably good. But the problem is you don't see them coming to. You don't see them being allowed to come to the play. I guarantee you take Pavlov VR, put that on PlayStation. You take let me see what else have I got here. Hell, fuck, work out a deal with Valve and get Half-Life Alyx on the PlayStation VR. Like
that's not going to happen.
No. I'm throwing hypotheticals out there just to let me get to my point. You give people an offering of, you give them a reason to buy the PlayStation VR 2, they'll do it. Like, because PlayStation VR with this new VR, there is no incentive to buy it.
Yep. We're gonna hit a PS Vita problem. Like, they're just going to stop supporting it after they already get $500 and some dollars. People like the support for that shit is going to die.
Like okay, I'm gonna throw like just a hypothetical question out there. All right, but I want everybody's opinion because it and be honest. Like I want you to actually kind of be honest with me with this. Like don't bullshit it. I want genuine gut reactions, immediate yes or no. Okay, if PlayStation suddenly announced tomorrow that, like, again, spectral universe, hypothetical universe here, Doom Eternal's getting a PSVR 2 port, would you buy a PS2 VR to play that?
If at a PS, yeah.
No.
I don't want to pay $550 to be able to play a game I've already played.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, then let's take that and say we're gonna get more games like that, like Doom Eternal. Like we're getting more games like that, like full on. We give a shit about these. We're not doing fucking tech demos like Arkham or anything like that. We're doing like games like Doom Eternal or Half-Life Alyx on the PlayStation VR. Say there was like 10 of them released in maybe a year. Would you be interested then?
Unless all of their first party is going to end up on VR in some way, shape, or form. No, the answer to the question. Nope.
That's the point. It's because like then Jube's just not interested. The problem is there's just no pickings for anybody
Yeah,
to
there's
buy
no killer app. There's no killer app that make like Half-Life Alex. That was a killer app. That was like, oh, dope. But like we don't have that.
The problem is with that killer app thing, and I've even mentioned this before. Like I mentioned this before. I even called Alex the killer app. But the problem is the killer app won't sustain it. You need the follow up, like what comes after Half-Life Alex.
Exactly.
That's the problem that kind of happened with VR on PC, and that was one of the problems with it is nobody did continue with it. Valve didn't continue with it. Like these big third parties ain't fucking released anything. They've re-released.
Not
shit.
even Valve did anything then after releasing it.
No, because the problem with Valve is then okay. So Valve is kind of weird, and the reason why Valve is kind of weird because Valve it works on Valve time. Like they will just do random shit out of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
Just
like they have
So
a dedicated.
talented.
No, they have a dedicated Steam Deck game that's literally made to teach you how to use the Steam Deck.
Not just that,
And
but
it's fucking
who
great.
remembers the fucking Steam consoles for fuck's sake? Like Steam does some weird ass shit. Like
Steam controller, Steam Link. Oh man.
Steam Link's actually pretty good though. Steam Link's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Aperture Desk Job is actually a really fun, little interesting experience on a Steam Deck. Like they do weird, quirky things like that, but I'm not going to get a sequel to that. They're not going to follow that up with another game,
like
for whatever reason.
Well, Half-Life, to my remembrance, Half-Life Alex sold well.
It did. It sold very well.
Yeah, it sold well, and the thing is, it also sold it sold them units. Like it sold them units of headsets because people bought Half-Life Alex. Because people kind of bought like people not naming names kind of bought the Valve Index and Half-Life Alex bundle. So it made them fucking money. It's just Valve is just very fucking weird. Like and that's the problem that Facebook had. Like, and it's the problem PlayStation has. And I've also said this before. The PlayStation 2 VR success hangs on the fact that Sony needs to fucking support it. Like they need to bring out games. Like the problem is the last year with their last VR headset they bought out. I put this down to a problem of the technology because they fucked the technology, not just in the headset, but they made you use the fucking Move. Like that was a big fucking turn-off point. Which is why I still turn around and say the best VR game you can play on the PlayStation VR is Resident Evil 7, because you don't need to use those fucking things. You don't need to use those fucking dildo glow sticks. Like you need more like Blood and Truth. Like because Blood and Truth was good. I heard that what was it? Fire what was it called? Fuck's sake. It was a fuck's sake. I'm trying to remember the fucking name of the game. Either way, like they need to do more games like that. Like developers need to stop doing these tech demos and need to release full-fledged fucking games for VR because they can work.
I was going to ask actually all PlayStation
After
people
what?
question. How do you guys feel about the Horizon VR game? Do you think that's going to be a VR headset seller?
No.
Nope.
No. It's only going to sell because it's bundled in with the damn headset. That's
You
not.
don't even get to play as Alloy in the VR game.
You don't. You play as
Oh.
Joe. You play as
Joe Blow.
Strong. Yeah, nobody who knows you are, and you climb them out. Like it's a tech demo essentially, but it's a $50 tech demo. I don't think we need that.
And to be fair, from everything I hear, it's a pretty good tech demo. But but part of it when Horizon was announced, I was like, I don't know if this is the right IP for that. Because part of the thing that makes Horizon wonderful is this great, big, beautiful world that you get to sort of freely explore. That, it's on rails in this sort of VR space. And it's like, I don't know if that works.
A Killzone VR would have been fire.
Which
But-
Killzone
you
VR is fine.
know the
Probably
fucking thing
trash
is
too,
nearly
yeah.
had.
What?
So that's probably trash too. I mean, Killzone.
No, I don't think
Actually,
it'd be trash. I think
How
it'll
about this?
actually
How about a Dead Space VR?
Oh,
Yeah,
y'all-
first
y'all-
person.
Hell. Okay,
y'all are-
hold
now
on.
you're
y'all are
speaking
nice,
my
man.
language.
I hate it. I because we've talked about we wanted The Last of Us to fucking end, but like, what about a fucking Last of Us VR game? Like,
y'all-
With the popularity
You
of
can
the
make it
TV
first
show, it could work.
Yeah.
Well work.
y'all
like,
would
but
think that-
a full-fledged Last of Us game where you actually have to fucking crouch and sneak by some clickers that are fucking on you, like an actual full-fledged game. Because the problem is they're selling you technology with tech demos, not product.
No, they should have released PSVR 2 with one game only. Astro's
What's that?
Playroom.
Oh, fuck off.
Actually,
But
Astro
Astro is
in first person might have been actually kind of cool.
Yes, Astro.
I would've-
Astro
I
was
I would
such
have
a
enjoyed
wild.
that fucking trip. It does.
It was-
I would
It
have
was
enjoyed
such
that.
a wild success.
you know
Especially
what?
especially with the DualSense controller.
Hey,
That-
you know-
I can see
No,
that.
you know what Astro Playroom could have fucking been? Like, because anybody who's played VR on Steam knows what the Steam VR room is. Like, it could have been their home screen for VR on the PlayStation, because on when you go into VR with Steam, you effectively have your own house in VR, and you can decorate it and do random shit inside. Like, that's what
Bringing back
should be.
PS Home, bringing back PlayStation Home would also be a big thing.
You know what? PlayStation VR home. Like that could be
PlayStation
their
VR
answer.
Home. So there's your VR chat. There's your
Yeah.
VR chat right there. It's right there.
And you could have different worlds set in different like games that they own, like a Last of Us world or a Killzone world or some shit like that. Like there's your answer to VR chat.
So now you're trying to make a PS verse, PlayStation verse with VR.
They've
Yeah,
already
sure.
had it because it was the
Yeah.
fucking PlayStation Home.
Which has
Yeah.
built its own little weird community around it, and they existed for quite some time.
Oh yeah,
Sure did.
those
Yeah.
fuckers were there until the actual service shut down.
Yeah, I mean,
And part of it, like I'm so, go ahead, Pharaoh. I'm sorry.
There's just no
No, I
commitment
was
to
just,
be like. Sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying, Astro is the perfect game to release in that type of scenario where it's a tech demo, because people are forgiving of it because of the success that it had with the PlayStation 5 showing off the DualSense.
And it's accessible to people who aren't quote unquote gamers, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because that's the other half of this equation here, particularly for a console VR headset. Like you've got to reach the other people.
Okay,
It-
now
it
here's for me, that's something that that PlayStation's other departments could also pick up on. Because like this is the other thing that people tend to forget VR is good for isn't just playing games. Like I don't
Watching
understand
shit.
why
Watching shit with your friends or just
Bingo.
watching
Yeah.
it, you know?
like here's something you can do on VR on PC, which I'm fucking shocked that Sony with the departments that Sony themselves haven't tried to do a virtual fucking cinema space for VR.
Sony with Sony Pictures. With Sony Pictures, you already have the shit.
Exactly.
And well,
You can watch movies not necessarily like through a cinema experience, but like you could get a VR headset on and set up like a cinema thing where you're watching something on a big screen. I've actually watched a full season of I actually watched the full season of Welcome to Demon School in VR in that very scenario where it was a big screen right in front of me. I was just sat there with my headset on with like a fucking doof like this, just watching it.
with that
Like,
3D
why
audio,
is-
man.
Yeah, like why Sony doesn't do something like that? Like that, you tell me that wouldn't make a casual want to buy like
Absolutely,
a VR headset.
right.
Like
Actually, I got something even better. On the Quest, you can actually watch game. They actually have like these camera machines at like all like NBA and NFL games where
Yeah.
you have Quest on. You could tune into the game like you're there. You
Yeah.
actually have like a full 180 view. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Sony doesn't have that.
WWE, I believe, does something similar to the same effect as well. Like they have
Bro,
360 cameras set up for
You could
people to watch in VR.
if you could sell live events like that, I catch. Hey man, I can't afford to go there. But if I can pay a fee and I get that experience and I'm right there,
It's already available.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jubei, like it's not a fact of if they can. It's a case of will they? Because
it's already available for like the Quest people.
Yeah, like
that's something like if they did something like that, now we're talking. Like now we're getting into the conversation to want to spend $550 on
like they do it at NBA. I know for a fact they fucking do it at NBA games because I think they do it in the corner. Like you can switch.
Yeah,
you
see the
NBA games.
Yeah, so there's usually these cameras that are they have these like little camera domes like put at the like right front seat, mind you, front seat. These camera domes that VR people can tune into and just watch the whole game. It's great.
And like they just need, because like Sony's a media company first and foremost, so like there is a lot of synergy with like their media
they all
properties.
fucking Crunchyroll. Why they've got a backlog with like Funimation and Crunchyroll. Like they've got anime, they've got movies, they've got music. I mean, the only thing I think they couldn't do was do live streams of like actual events, like gigs or something.
They could.
The people already work. They're already working on that. That actually what's the anime blue hair chick? Because they already made a bunch of live service like VR events with her.
It's Miku.
King Tommy. What's her face? Yeah,
she was in PSO. Yeah, she. They put her in Phantasy Star Online too. I watched the whole concert in PSO too with her.
Well, I'm about to say, like we're talking about it. Like this is something like we gave shit to Xbox about trying to sell TV like with their console. Like but the thing is, and this is I'm bringing this up as a preemptive to anybody who turns around and says, well, you gave Xbox shit for doing it, but you're telling PlayStation to do it. The difference is right now, like Xbox originally tried to sell the Xbox One on that predication as well, like game second, media first, where Sony already has the games, like they're already selling it as a games medium. So why not add the media after the fact? I cannot believe I am quoting the $6 million man, but you have the technology.
Well, they already do have PlayStation TV. I don't know if it integrates into their VR headset, but they do have a TV package.
Yeah.
Bro, give me access to Coachella with the fucking haptic feedback on that headset.
No, they'll never do that because they would love to, but Coachella would riot.
But like that would
why would they riot if they're still charging money?
Like that.
If I still have to pay a fee to watch it, like that's free money.
I'll be honest with you, because I think part of concert, particularly large concert going like that, is a level of exclusivity. Meaning, if you can't get in, you can't get in. Coachella will never have a problem making a certain amount of money, but they'll just be like,
what's up? But here's the thing: if we're talking about movies, like you can, like, okay, I'm no offense to you, Bear, so I'm not picking on you while your daughter, but just like imagine like the new Frozen movie or some shit comes out, or a kids movie by Sony comes out, and Jubei's daughter wants to go and see it, and Jubei's like looking at his wallet and he's like, I'm busy, but I really don't want to let her down. Let's put the VR headset on her. Let's put on those 3D audios. Let's sit her on the couch and let her watch the movie. Let her watch that movie, and like that's the kind of thing that just this kind of thing that I'm talking about breeds like that kind of casual audience thing that they want. Like
virtual movie theaters.
Yeah,
but I don't say the AMC.
Oh no, yeah. Well, AMC, sorry, and plus, here's the thing, here's the thing that could make them competitive because it's a virtual space. Like they can charge less money than AMC would, and plus, they don't need to worry about having to sell you drinks or nothing because you can just get that shit at home and have like your soda there, your popcorn right there.
That oversized pop. No, they make a lot of money on the oversized popcorn and shit.
I know they do, but Sony doesn't need to worry about
$20.
They can be competitive with that shit.
It's $20 for a bucket of popcorn and a Coke.
Yeah,
that's
it's my understanding that AMC barely makes any money on ticket sales. They make everything at the concession.
It's all concessions.
No movie theater makes money on ticket sales. Everybody makes money on concessions.
Like,
that's
which Sony with a virtual space like we're talking about, they'd make money just off selling the ticket, because again, it's just a virtual space and you could watch the movie. Like they could set it up like an actual theater thing, like now showing at like 2 p.m. is going to be such and such, and then after that at 4 p.m. now showing such and such. Like they could set it up like an actual fucking theater kind of experience.
I don't think Sony's brave enough to break away from the traditional movie industry. Like that is going to make them persona non grata across the board.
I disagree. No. I disagree for the simple goddamn reason. The reason why I disagree is like we're already moving into this space with streaming. It's effectively the same thing, just Sony's now trying to sell you a big giant fucking visor to put on.
Except we've been pulling back a long time. Like Disney stopped doing the day and date watch at home. Now, Ant-Man is not on Disney Plus. You can't get it.
Do you want to know why that happened, though? Do you want to know why that happened?
Pandemic ended.
Not just pandemic ended. No, it's not just because pandemic ended. It's because Scarlett Johansson made everybody realize. Yep, it was the Black Widow movie, because they realized, we don't have all of these people under this contract that allows us to put this shit out. Like, give it another couple of years when they're re-upping people's contracts, or they're adding people to new contracts where it says you're not getting a gross of the box office, we're going to give you a flat payment, and then they'll start putting that shit day and day on their streaming services. I guarantee you. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for that.
You had to pay out of the ass for Scarlett Johansson to take a flat payment, or Ryan Reynolds, or Chris Evans, or anybody.
No, and hold on.
Because now we run into the Game Pass scenario, right? Where it's like, take this flat amount of money. So what? The rest of the money is mine. Where like, if I make Black Panther made $1 billion. You tell me I'm going to get a flat rate of $1 billion? Absolutely not. And nobody expected that movie to make $1 billion. Absolutely not. They're
you better have 5 points of that.
Yeah, I want all of my money.
It's so important to actors. Like you want residuals.
Yeah,
you want points.
You have to, because streaming is already killing that level of industry. Because before it was DVD sales that kept them afloat, that kept them getting more and more money. That's not happening anymore. They don't get no money off streaming.
I don't think
so.
I say give it a couple of years. I say give it a couple of years, but again, my whole point is like the whole point, going back to the actual fucking point of this, is like for PlayStation VR to succeed, Sony needs to be behind this 150%.
Yeah, they need to be above and beyond behind it.
Like they need to not only look at just the gaming space for this, they need to look at other avenue spaces for this. Like they need to work.
This shit comes out in like a week, right? It comes out on the 26th or some shit. Where's the marketing? Where's the commercial? Well, I haven't seen shit.
They
need to be working with like the NFL.
Than they already put into it.
The problem is they're already going to. They're already going to on manufacturing costs alone.
That's why they really are. They're going with just word of mouth and Twitter advertising. They are not going to do print and all that other stuff.
Like they need to support this 110%. 150%. Like they need to search all fucking avenues that they could possibly bring people in, like movies, music, anime, even games. Like they need to have like a fucking studio or two dedicated to, or you know what, a studio dedicated to making VR games, but also working alongside studios that they own by somehow making VR versions or VR compatibility with their games. Because like as Jubei turned around and said, a fucking Killzone VR game, like that'd be fire. Like they almost half-assed that back on the, not half-assed it. They almost, if Killzone 3 had come out on the PlayStation fucking 4, it would not surprise me if we did get a VR version of that, because back on the PlayStation 3, Killzone 3 had PlayStation Move support, and it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty fucking good. I know, I played it. I've got an entire fucking playthrough of it with the PlayStation Move. Like, it wasn't bad. They need to work into doing that kind of thing. Like, and also, like, and I've said this before because it's the fucking truth. Like, maybe they should get a hold of Sega and be like, "Hey, Sega, you still do them rail shooters, right?"
Actually, hold on. A Time Crisis or better yet, Spider-Man VR.
Fucking dude,
I would like to fucking play that.
We actually already got that mod. We got that mod on PC.
Dude, House of the Dead VR. I've turned around for years and turned around and said how rail shooters have not organically transitioned into VR boggles my fucking mind. It is perfect for it. In fact, one of the very first fucking games that came out for PlayStation VR was a fucking rail shooter. It was fucking fuck's sake. It was that Until Dawn game. Until Dawn Blood something. Like, that was a fucking rail shooter.
Yeah, it fits. It's something that it works a lot.
Dude, or flip a bit, you know what? You want to fucking kill a rat? Tell me this doesn't sound appealing. I'm Sony right now. I'm looking over at Capcom. Hey. You know those Resident Evil rail shooter games you made? You want to make a third one for our VR headset? Because we think that would sell. Yeah. I would play that to hell and back. Like a fucking Resident Evil rail shooter on a VR headset. My God, license to print money.
Raccoon City rail shooter, yeah.
That you can, especially if you could have like some kind of online co-op. Oh, yeah.
Oh fuck right.
Four player online co-op.
Sign me up.
Again, like why we're not like it's so sad, and I'm not trying to be the holier than thou motherfucker, but why is it that a dumbass white trash bitch from fucking England can come up with ideas that a multi-billion-dollar goddamn company cannot come up with when it is the simplest shit in the world?
Because they're scared. Sony's scared.
Because they don't I don't think they know their VR audience, because it's not really that complicated. It's not.
Really not.
When something as simple as Beat Saber can take off because it just fucking works, because it's like think about the premise of Beat Saber for a second. Like it just works.
Now here's the problem with Beat Saber on console, and the reason why it died eventually on console. They didn't allow
the same songs.
Yes, they didn't have third party. They weren't allowed to have third party support. Where on PC. We have we have Beat Saber for fucking everything. Like, we got the Dragon Ball fucking theme done in Beat Saber because, fuck you, that's why.
Yeah. Which can work because things like Rock Band, the era is over, but Rock Band
it can't work.
Regular folks will pay outside of the licensing, because the music license is a fucking nightmare.
So how Sony doesn't need to? They own the fucking music industry. DJ Hero, for fuck's sake.
I'm about to say
DJ Hero.
I got mine too. Yeah,
I still got mine.
But because Jim's right. Like, Beat Saber is a casual hit. Like, dozens of times. Dozens of times so far, I've come back to a friend's house drunk, played Beat Saber.
I could not play that game drunk. I could not. I would end up chucking up.
I play on Expert. I can't do that drunk on Expert.
Yeah, and it's accessible to everybody. Like, you just swing the sticks and try to hit the things. And if you want to be far more professional with it, by all means. But everybody can get into that in the same way that everybody got into Wii Fit or Wii Sports. Like, I think for all VR, you just need that.
Where the fuck is the VR sports game? Why doesn't play?
Yeah,
y'all have MLB The Fucking Show. Why the fuck is it? Come on.
You know what? That is a good fucking point. Where the fuck is MLB The VR? Like, seriously, where is MLB The VR? Okay, now here's the thing. We've been talking, but one person has been auspiciously quiet, and I want his opinion on everything we've been talking about, and does he think it will help the PSVR? Omar, what are your thoughts on everything that has been said? And Like, do any of these sound appealing to you as a potential PlayStation VR 2 owner?
Okay, so here's the thing. I never owned a VR. I never experienced a VR. So I okay. So if I think of VR, I think of something immersive. Why not invest and make a JRPG that's in VR or anything fantasy related? But don't
Well, that's
make
what
it.
Skyrim's for.
But I say just get Skyrim for VR. Oh wait, that could go. Is that on PlayStation?
Yeah, it is on the
Okay.
PlayStation VR.
Oh yeah,
They could
Skyrim
easily
VR.
they could easily port that to the fucking PlayStation VR 2.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it though, because unfortunately the fucking the Skyrim and the Skyrim and Fallout 4 VR editions do not have the fucking DLC. Boo.
I'm mad. I can just rattle off ideas like competitive shooting VR. Like that could totally be a fucking thing. I mean, it's like that game you're talking about on PC.
The problem is I hear a lot of spitballing ideas, but you need to have the audience for it.
Okay, so Omar, here's the
you have something mundane, like I said, like having a sports pack in VR is your audience kind of makes itself like Wii Sports did not need an audience. It's fucking Wii Sports. Like everybody has played one of these games and they find one that they really like fucking playing.
Let's not even think of that. Omar, like as someone who lives in the where do you live again?
Sorry?
No. Where do you live again? Like just so I can make my point. Where do you live?
In the Netherlands.
You live in the Netherlands. I live in the UK. There is two things. There is one thing I will. There was you. Okay, so you know American football, right?
Yeah.
There is one thing you will never experience. That is, you will most likely never be able to go to a Super Bowl. There is one thing as a wrestling fan I will never probably be able to go to, and that's WrestleMania.
Yep.
I would fucking love for a VR experience where I could watch WrestleMania live in person.
Yeah, possibly something like that. Like that.
That's the thing. That's technology, Omar, that exists. Like that's not spitballing ideas. That's ideas that are already out there.
With the Quest.
Yeah, it already exists. There's no reason why it shouldn't also be on this headset.
Yeah.
My main thing is it not having the bare minimum that the PC and the Quest have. Like the PC headsets, like it should. The fact that they're like, yeah, this thing only connects to the PlayStation, like you were dead in the water as soon as you said that shit. If that shit launched, like, hey, you can connect this to your PC, you can get it, like, it doesn't matter. I would have, even if it had to be wired the whole time, I would have took that.
Because I actually think it is
with just that.
Yeah, because I do actually think I think the hertz wise, it's actually slower than the fucking PlayStation VR, not the PlayStation VR, than the Valve Index, because the Valve Index goes to 144. I don't know about the resolution of the screen. Senshi, do you mind just looking up for that? The resolution of the lenses of the Valve Index to the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation VR 2. Because I don't know if the resolution is better.
Smaller.
I think the lenses might be small, but it does have adjustability, just like the.
Okay, so the Valve Index 2 is the Valve Index 2 resolution is 4K.
No, okay, right. Then give me a minute.
So, Omar, I'd ask this as a Sony fan, and so am I. So it's not too far off. And I'm loath to give her any more money, but so be it. But theoretically, let's say PlayStation got its hands on, like, here's an exclusive thing we can make from the Harry Potter franchise and a VR thing. My first thought is that you can kind of easily transform the Fantastic Beasts portion of it into, whereas, like, it's this VR experience of hanging out with all the magical animals, and doing all of that cool stuff, and think, and with the room requirement. So think maybe a Harry Potter's version of Animal Crossing, if you will. I think personally that would sell gangbusters. And the audience you're talking about is like, I think it's double, right? Like you get the VR gaming audience who probably will enjoy this stuff, but then you pull off the millions upon millions of Harry Potter casual fans who probably would buy this game let's ignore controversy aside. Let's slot that out of it. Just who would buy this game strictly because it is a Harry Potter game solely.
Everyone
Like,
just waving
do-
their wands, saying "Expecto
Yep.
Patronum."
Yeah, like,
you,
do you think that would
have to
sell?
give us you have to give us wizard duels. You have to
And
give it
here's
to us.
and
Is
with
that-
the PlayStation with the PlayStation VR 2, the best thing is you have that degree of movement because the PlayStation 2 VR actually has fucking controllers built for VR.
It does, and it has eye
Maybe,
tracking. Like, it has things that make like you can literally if the eye tracking works, I think it does. Like movement should not be a problem.
maybe because the VR2 have a specific controllers for it. Maybe they're being serious about it now, and they're gonna actually make game for it now.
But that's what we're saying. We're hoping that this is the case because it's the only way the PlayStation VR 2 succeeds. It's the only way that it succeeds. By the way, I looked it up. I was looking up. I was thinking per eye. So it's so for the Valve Index, it's 1440. It's 1440 by 1600 per eye. The PlayStation VR actually has a larger resolution per eye.
Way more. Yeah, per eye.
It's 2000 by 2800. Like the only thing it's lagging behind is the fucking refresh rate, which is 144 in the Valve Index. So the fact that this is not compatible on PC is actually a little fucking criminal. Because, like, no joke, I'm no hyperbole. If this was compatible with PC, if maybe they'll do it in the future, maybe to extend, maybe for a bigger audience. Because I know third party, someone will fucking figure it out. Like some third party coder will figure it out. I would buy this because because even wired, if the wire is nice and flexible, this could be a relatively easy replacement for the fucking Valve Index because it's got a good refresh rate. It's got good fucking resolution per eye. And it's adjustable like the Valve Index, to my knowledge. So people with glasses aren't completely
with glasses.
fucked.
Yep.
And I believe they're OLED screens as well. So you're
OLED.
getting amazing fucking visual fidelity through them.
That actually lends credence to like that movie theater idea.
Yeah, exactly. Of course it does.
Dark as hell in there.
But I'm looking like on paper the PlayStation VR 2 doesn't look like a bad. Does it? What the controllers? Do the controllers have the grip movement?
Yes.
Because I've seen something so it does have grip movement where you grip it, and does it do it with individual fingers as well?
I believe it does.
That's basically that's basically the Valve Index too. So again, like if they did this for fucking PC, I would actually fucking buy one. I don't think I'd be alone on that.
No, I would buy it too. I would definitely buy it. If a way to get the PC and it can run very well. Oh fuck yeah.
But the thing for me is like it's application of this technology now. They have the technology. It's not a bad concept. It's not a bad headset on paper.
Yeah, it has finger touch detection, bro. Like
so it's basically the fucking Valve Index controllers then. Because that's what the Valve Index has.
So for Nappy and Dante,
and it has the adaptive.
Pardon?
I was gonna say for Nappy and Dante, who said they would buy it on PC. Does the fact that the PlayStation 4 charge more than Steam and the MetaQuest store for certain games, that wouldn't be a deterrent for you guys if it came to PC?
If the Valve Index, Jesus Christ. If the PlayStation 2 VR came to PC, like it does, here's the thing. What do you mean charge more? Do you mean for games or the headset itself?
The game in the store.
No, because they guarantee you they wouldn't. No, because they wouldn't
want to do that.
No,
because they currently are. That's what I'm asking. The games are currently more expensive in the PlayStation Store than they are on the Steam and MetaQuest.
Oh no, because they'd be the same price on Steam. Like if PlayStation were going to release their VR games, it would be on Steam and it would be at the price they've been releasing their games on.
It would be on Epic. It wouldn't be on Steam.
It would be on Steam.
Their relationship is with Epic.
It would be on Steam. It would be on Steam.
Have to be on Steam. It's literally suicide to not put it on Steam.
And
I'm about to think, because Epic Game Store doesn't even have.
Yeah, that's one reason. Yeah, sorry, Deppy, go ahead.
Sony hasn't
I
had
was
any issues
just
committing PC suicide.
No, we're talking suicide in the fact that Epic Store doesn't even have VR capability.
Yeah, about to say Steam Store is the only one with VR capabilities right now.
It's the only one, like the only, like the
You can't buy VR games in Epic Game Store.
That would be the marketing point. We're bringing VR capabilities.
Do you really want Epic Games to start VR for the first time? For the first time.
Sony has invested into Epic. They have invested hundreds of millions of dollars.
So launch it on both stores. Launch it on both stores.
Launch it on both stores, and again, it's not like they've got. It's not like they've got an exclusivity. It's not like Epic Store's got an exclusivity on their fucking games. I mean, for fuck's sake, Returnal's literally coming out.
No, Returnal already came out for
It already is out. Yeah, it is already.
It actually runs pretty well on PC too. I was shocked about that.
Yeah. One. Yeah, like their games are like there is no. I don't know what you're talking about. Like it might be a technology thing, but like as far as games, it isn't an exclusivity for games.
I didn't say they had exclusivity. They bought into the Epic Store. They would definitely launch.
Yeah, they might have bought into the Epic Store, but like that's probably on a technology basis. But like it isn't. Their VR games would come to Steam. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and they would be regular price. I mean, for fuck's sake, give me a second. What is Returnal selling for right now? I think Returnal
is selling for like $50.
Yeah, Returnal's normal price, and didn't that sell for
$60, and that is a very positive right now.
Yeah, like people on PC are accepting of it. Like it goes back to what I've been turning around and saying. If PlayStation respect the PC space and eventually go day and date, they will see fucking gangbusters on Steam, like they already fucking are.
I think if their VR games are day and date and this shit fucking works on PC, I'd buy it.
Yeah. Because then we have something that unfortunately Omar doesn't have, and that's an ass load of fucking backlog games.
Yep.
Like we have indie support.
That's the other thing that got me. Like, if the PSVR 1 games work with it, you also would have had a selling point. Because like now you're giving incentive to those.
Like PlayStation does shit that makes sense. Because if they did,
I know.
The PSVR 2 would already be on PC day one.
I agree. That's why I'm saying when they realize there's money to be made in our PC fucking hills. I mean, for fuck's sake, like. I do not understand. Like, it's still in early access. I will freely fucking admit this. But like, they need to reach out to some of these indie developers that are on Steam and get VR ports, because some of these games are already in VR, like Phasmophobia. Yes, I admit that is an early access game. I got it bought from it, but it's really fucking good. Jubei and Zero have seen me play Phasmophobia and seen me shit myself playing it. That has VR functionality. Just ask the guys who are making it to port the VR version over to PlayStation VR 2, and there you've got a game that is going to be updated for a while and people can go to and play. Because like that, again, it is one of those games, like I said with Resident Evil 7, where it becomes a completely different fucking game when you play it in VR. Especially with 3D surround sound like headphones.
Mm-hmm. You know, it'll be funny. Steam, PlayStation should get one of those girlfriend VR games more it over. You know dang old well that was selling in Japan. You know it was selling in Japan.
Ain't nobody buying no PSVR. That's the problem now. They gotta get they gotta get the hardware moving.
No, they gotta get the no. They gotta get software moving to move that fucking hardware first. That's where you got it backwards. The problem is they've got the hardware.
The software is already out there. They just got to get it on their platform.
Yeah,
the software is already there. They just got to get it on their platform, and then build.
I mean, God, I will castrate them if they fucking do it. But in my opinion, one thing that they could do is reach out to Quicksilver or Embracer Media and see if they can get a fucking VR version of Payday free when that comes out.
That should be.
That'd be fire.
That's what they need. They they like those 6,000 games. They need to be on the PlayStation.
I agree. I said that earlier. I did say that earlier. Like they need these. They need to reach out to these indies and get some of these games on the VR store.
Like
they
they have the tech. Like they have the tech. Like the tech there is good. I'm not saying technology wise this headset is bad or anything. It's the tech is there. But
no, if anything,
it's just the tech.
If anything, for the price, the tech's good. Like, okay, so this is the ass thing. This is the ass thing where I will disagree. I don't think the price for this headset is all that egregious. Not entirely, because once again, like I believe that this headset is better.
It wouldn't be egregious if you didn't need to hook it up to a PS5. Like you have to.
Oh no, I agree with that, but just hear me out. Let me get my point out. Let me get my point out. Like the tech itself in this headset, like what it is capable of, like what it is capable of is, in my opinion, actually the price is good on it. I mean, for God's sake, it's about $100 less than the fucking Quest 2, and it blows the Quest 2 out of the water. The only thing it doesn't do is it's not wireless. And it is $500 fucking cheaper than the fucking Valve Index.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And don't forget about the Quest Pro. That's also coming in at like $1,000.
What is better, Valve Index or PSVR 2?
Well, right now, the PlayStation VR 2, like as a piece of hardware, Omar, like just so you can't use this against me, I'm specifically saying as a piece of hardware, as far as value goes, all right, as a piece of hardware, the unit itself, the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation VR 2 is better value than the Valve Index.
Yep. Yeah, you have the Valve Index
it's
tech
the newer
plus
technology.
Exactly.
The more comparable piece of tech to compare it to would be the MetaQuest Pro. Because they're both fairly recent VR releases.
Let me have a look at that fucking Pro. What's the Pro's price? Oh, good God Almighty! That hurt my soul.
It's like 15.
That just hurt my. It's £1,500 fucking pounds at Curry's. That hurt my soul.
Yeah.
That hurt my soul. That just hurt my soul looking at that.
Technology.
Bro, I could buy 3 people on this podcast PSVR 2 headsets for that one.
Or you could, or you could just buy me a fucking Steam Deck.
2.5.
Jesus.
Remember, the PSVR 2 is $550. So
2.5 change.
You could just buy me a Steam Deck and I'll be happy.
No, just buy me a graphics card.
Just buy it. Yeah, just give me the money.
Buy me a
so I can buy a
4090.
graphics card. Yeah,
I'll buy 4090 over
$3,000.
No,
somebody needs to tell me.
Whoa!
I saw it online.
Where the fuck you look? Where the fuck you looking?
I was like,
Scalpers.
Must be scalpers.
Dude, the resolution. Oh my fucking dude, the Quest Pro is a fucking rip-off, son.
18 by 920. That's it per eye. That's
dude, that's less than the fucking PlayStation VR 2, and the hertz is less too.
But it's fully wireless compared to the.
I think it's because it can run the games independently from the PC.
Yeah, you don't need a PC.
Maybe.
It can run everything in the headset.
Oh no.
It has 12 gigs of RAM in that bitch. Like that's actually kind of substantial. That's
no. Okay, so there is a slight difference to what we're talking about because I don't know if it's the same thing. I'll need to look at this. I'll need to look a bit more deeper into this, but you can on the Quest 2 you can run games independently on it as well, but you still need to connect it via cable to your PC to run your Steam games. I think the same thing will be possible. Yeah, I think with the Pro it's going to be the same thing. If you want to run your Steam games, you'll need to plug it. You'll need to be wired in for it to do it. Yeah, wired video, Oculus Link, USB-C.
So it's going to be running off your PC hardware anyway. So
wireless video, Wi-Fi streaming, virtual disk space, AirLink. Yeah, so it does have wired video. So that will most likely be how they do it for Steam games.
Shows no wire for being able to do that. That they're showing that part's wireless too to be able to touch something. That's interesting. But
it does have Wi-Fi streaming because it has wireless video, but
So you can use could you use Steam Link on it?
That's what I'm questioning. I'm wondering if that will be compatible with Steam with Steam, if you have a Wi-Fi connection, or if you do need to connect it to USB-C. Because the thing is with the Quest, and Nappy will fucking, I hope you will goddamn back me up on this. They really want to try and get people to move into the meta. So,
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
like,
I know they've been trying, they've been failing.
Yeah, so it would not surprise me if they turn around and say, "Oh, you can use it wireless if you use our shit, but everything else needs to be wired."
Yeah, no, fuck you.
That would not surprise me.
I got the long extension cable.
Let me look. Steam VR can. I'll look into this. We still need to. Oh wow! Apparently the Meta Quest Pro is getting some bad reviews. 4 out of 10 by The Verge. Oh,
The Verge? Who took some? I mean, damn.
Oof.
It's
not good.
Supports Oculus, Link, and Air Link for Oculus Link and Air Link for PC VR. I don't know if the Oculus Link is compatible with Steam. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, fucking PC Gamer here. The Meta Quest Pro isn't for gamers, but we sure want to play games on it. That's their tagline for this. Like, see, yeah, like this Quest looks like it's not even really mainly for games.
It's
But
more
yeah,
of
I
like
mean,
a mixed reality kind of thing, I'm sure.
Yeah,
actually, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. So this is
you know what we're looking at. You know what we're looking at. We're basically looking at like HoloLens in the consumer space, essentially.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I'm not seeing anything.
We're looking at HoloLens that isn't $3,000.
Pretty goddamn much. But yeah, that's why I turned around and said that the PlayStation 2 VR is the PlayStation VR 2. I fucking hate that name. That's why I'm saying that headset isn't looking all too bad for, like, if it was available for PC. If anything, if it was available for PC, it would make them a new competitor. Like,
it would.
Like, because for the tech that's in that, for what it's offering, for that price, it would
absolutely sell.
It would sell.
Like, literally. But hey, I don't need to go spend all this money on a Valve Index. I can get it for half the price. PC gamers are like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. If it was available for PC, don't you think they would sell it for more?
No.
That price is way too attractive. They would be sold out. If that shit was announced like, hey, this shit'll work on the PC, it would have been sold out. I can still go on a PS Direct and buy this. It's not sold out.
I would agree if they just said day one that this is compatible with PC. This actually, I could see this of being really popular amongst PC VR players as well as PC hobbyists, enthusiasts.
Yeah, they could have probably swung it as while it does work on PC, you cannot play, PlayStation exclusive games on it without a PlayStation console. Until they have that relationship with Steam established for the VR game. They could have just
maybe.
Because all people want to.
So you're saying I couldn't play God of War in this headset?
No, I'm saying like nobody like Call of the Wild that just released. You would need a PS5.
Oh, believe me, you don't want to play regular games on a VR headset anyway. That's headache inducing.
It's a little weird.
Yeah. Like try and imagine yourself playing a fucking video game in a cinema while you're in the front fucking row. It just doesn't fucking feel right.
It's kind of weird because I was like, sorry, go on.
I was saying the only reason I was saying that you can't play PlayStation games on the PSVR is because Horizon isn't released to PC yet. That particular Horizon game.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, because then people will just wait for it. Because again, it's not like we're starving for VR games on PC. So once again, we'll wait. But again, as I turned around and said before, like the day they turn around and say day and date for PC is the day they'll fucking found the day they announce day and date for PC for their games is the day they'll finally fucking strike oil.
Yep. I hope what I hope they aren't doing is hoping that PSVR 2 tries to sell consoles because
that's not gonna happen.
Nah, I do not see
'cause
that.
You need a console to use it. You do need a console to use it.
You do need a
I'm not-
console to use it, but the reason why that seems like an asinine fucking thing to do is to sell the headset, you need the console, and to sell the console, you need games. But to sell this particular piece of hardware, you also need games on said fucking
On this-
hardware. They have
Yes,
neither.
yes, they do. Yep. It's weird. Like they could have fixed all this because like if they said this shit works on PC, them not having the library of games wouldn't have mattered. It only would have mattered if you don't have a PC. It only would have mattered if you don't have a PC.
It boggles my mind they didn't announce this with like a full like fucking like 7 games or something. Like what?
Yeah, they need
Hold
at
on.
least like 10.
They got like 2.
No,
I think,
apparently
that I
there's
can
like
think of.
30 or some shit.
What
They got
games?
two.
What games are coming out for this? Like what?
Horizon.
Oh, motherfucker! There is a fucking. Oh, okay. No, okay. Time
There's
for
a
me
list.
to. Time for us to get pissy here. Time for us to get a bit pissy here. Okay. So here okay.
They have a list.
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
there's-
Oh my god! They actually. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I actually don't think. Okay. I think. Oh
But this
yeah.
is
no,
also
they-
launch. It's also launch window lineup, so it's not the day that it comes out.
PlayStation part of an announcement. Sony most
They
new
said
entries
within
include.
a month. So if we get all this shit within a month, cool.
Yeah, like okay, I'm actually looking at this list, and this list isn't actually that fucking bad. Like, they've actually okay, so they must have been listening to me from the fucking past, because there's actually a couple of things here that I even said. Like, first of all, they got the Horizon one, but they are getting a VR version of fucking Resident Evil Village. Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
Oh, they are?
They already
Yeah,
announced
cool.
that. They announced that.
Yeah, they're getting Resident Evil 4 as well. Fuck you, I'm still waiting for a PC version. They are getting Gran Turismo 7 on PC for VR.
Yep. It's a free update. So if you own the PS5 game, you can play it in PSVR for free. So I do like that. There are
Yeah.
things to like.
All right, cool.
Yeah, No Man's Sky is getting re-released with that as well. But yeah, fucking Pavlov VR is right here.
Oh, good.
Fucking Pavlov VR is right there. Jesus
Good.
Christ. So yeah, no, there are things. There. It seems like they do actually have. Oh God, Crossfire's here. Cities VR. Okay, I didn't think that. Okay, I need to see how that works before I give that any praise. Fucking City Skylines in VR. I actually kind of need to see that because
Wait.
yeah, City Skylines in VR. I actually want to see how that fucking works. I'm gonna look up a video in a second. But yeah, like it's the problem. Yeah, like they just need to expand this fucking library. If this is in the first couple of months, then yeah, like we're I would say this might, we're cooking. Like we're off to the races, but you just need to keep up this momentum because there's 39 games here. Jesus, some I've never even fucking heard of, some I have heard of, and one that I'm incredibly pissy about. I fucking hate you, Sony, for keeping VR Resident Evil to yourself again. Oh, I hate you. You're gonna make me buy a fucking headset just like you did with the fucking Resident Evil 7, aren't you?
Yep.
Fuck you.
I mean, I wouldn't have made it through RE7 in a headset. I would have died. I absolutely would have physically died.
Pussy.
It's kind of fun. It's
You
oh
know
wait,
what?
because of that bug.
Not
It's
wrong.
because of that lady. What's her face? She probably would scare the
Not
shit out you,
wrong.
wouldn't she?
The
tentacles.
shit, bro.
Lady
Like,
D.
bruh.
No. He's talking about Marguerite, the one from Resident Evil 7. He's talking about the mother.
And then you got Lady Medusa's daughters. Imagine them bugs in VR.
Oh God.
Nope. I'd rather not.
He's gonna do it. Okay, all right. So I'm looking at City Skyline. City Skyline in VR. It pretty much looks like what I thought it would, but it also looks worse than what I thought it would. This is something Sony should have thrown. No, this is something Sony should have thrown money at and says, "Hey, can you make this a bit graphically better and make it to where the trees don't look like?" Because we're gonna be the trees look like they're straight up from the N64.
Yeah, I mean this does look like more so like a tech demo. I mean, you look like you're just playing God and building your city.
Well, to be fair, it just looks like City Skyline in VR. So I mean, you know what you're getting into when it comes to City Skyline. So I can't call that a tech demo because I mean, again, City Skyline. They're also getting Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. That's a surprise. I need to play Saints and Sinners 1.
Where? I never heard of having these. Oh, they got job simulators ported over? What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've also
they
you
Yeah,
no,
Job
it
Simulator
is.
was on the first PSVR.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was ported over.
The only thing,
the VR MMO. Oh, you guys have an MMO. Okay.
the only thing I think doesn't. The only thing I don't think works is, and I said this before, is that the NFL Pro Era, which is a VR football game. This looks like a fucking tech demo.
Yeah.
Yep. Like this straight up looks like a fucking tech demo because all you're doing is doing plays and then just throwing the ball. I'm not seeing anything like you running the field or anything like that.
You can run.
Oh, and also PlayStation looks like they got a cooperative first-person shooter after the fall. Okay. So,
yeah, like I said, they need to advertise this shit. Like, get people to know.
I'm like nobody knew these games were some of these games are actually really good. Why?
Well, the issue is that like a lot of the audience they're trying to capture is a casual VR audience. Like,
yep,
it's not
wrong.
They're not capturing with what they're offering. They're not capturing a hardcore VR audience at this moment.
Not at all.
But they're not capturing anybody because nobody fucking knows about any of this. That's the problem.
But
I'm like looking at these games.
But what I'm saying is that the way that they're marketing it, it's only the casual audience that will pick it up. And when the casual audience is like, I have to get a PlayStation 5 to play it, they're like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And then the hardcore
people are
audience
gonna listen.
like, the hardcore audience is like, I already have a VR headset. Why am I gonna jump over the PlayStation 5? Like, you got to give them a reason to come over to PlayStation 5 when, like, why should I leave my PC behind? So
wait a minute, hold on, wait, it's after the. You know why you've never fucking heard of After the Fall? Oh, wait,
Why?
it is on Steam.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We need to wishlist this.
I'm gonna wishlist that too. Like, damn. Okay. What? That looks a cooperative first-person shooter VR. Oh fuck yeah.
27. Yeah, 27. £27.
Only $30 on piece. Oh.
It's mostly positive. 70%, 77%.
Okay. Yeah. That's a VR worthy game. All right, PlayStation. I see you. You get some games ported over.
Yeah, like my only thing is I think like they need to they need to get Source and Sorcery on there. Like they need to
if they get Swords of Sorcery, that will be a big one. If they can get Swords of Sorcery on PlayStation, woo, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, they need to get a couple more right. They need to get a couple more like of these games on there. Like this is a good fucking start. If this is how they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna turn around and then they start working with more indies, like getting like Phasmophobia and some other shit on there. Like no, I actually think PlayStation VR 2 could succeed if they start branching into the other media thing we talked about to get a more casual audience in. I could actually see the PlayStation. They just can't pussyfoot this. They need to go like they need to do that 150%.
They should advertise this a little bit better.
They need to make PC as well.
Oh yeah, if they make it work for PC, that would be great. But I think the problem is though is that PC players we can still buy the metaverse thing and hook our things wirely to our PCs and let it run off our PCs. But I mean, they do even though the technology is better. I'm looking at these games. You guys have a decent amount of games, even though some of them have been ported over from the Steam library. So
yeah. Sony's again, I didn't know about any of this. I should have done my due diligence. I do apologize. I'm coming off like an uneducated idiot, but like, no, they're actually doing the right thing with this.
Yeah, I would say the PSVR 1 had a pretty all right library.
No, it didn't. It really didn't.
It had good enough.
For
an average person and the price that it was perfectly fine and respectable. It did well enough for them to make a 2.
Wait, you guys are getting Axe 8? Oh god, because that's coming on Steam as well. So you guys are getting like same day releases on Steam and PlayStation. Why? Won't they make the PSVR 2 work on PC? Because that was a big one. 5v5 shooter. You actually create stuff. Like, what? Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a hold up. Yo,
they got VR.
There was do you want to know why? Okay. You want to know something really fucking stupid? I'm looking at I got very curious about the PlayStation VR games. Okay. A lot of these are fucking interactive movies. Like but a lot of them were not released in Europe or America.
What? Oh, delivers AAA VR experience. Wait, whoa, pause. Don't tell me Half-Life Alyx is being ported over to PlayStation VR. That will be insane.
No way. There's absolutely no way. There's no way I called that.
No, I'm looking at the list right now, and then Half-Life Alyx popped up. I'm like, that can't be true. Oh, these are rumors or leaks, so never mind. I'm in the rumors leaks section.
I think, honestly, I won't lie. If they can pull that off, I actually think that would be a huge get for PlayStation, as I said.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, they actually got some good, PlayStation 2 VR got some good titles, like...
Yeah, they're working. Like I said, they need to keep this up. Like, this is the momentum they need to keep going for, like, a couple of years. Because, like, this is one of those things I mentioned before. This is a marathon, not a sprint for them.
Yeah, I mean, heck, they did a marathon with the PlayStation 3. They can do a marathon with this, too.
That was a marathon that was completely... I would say unintentional, but was completely their own fucking fault.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got nothing else for the PlayStation VR.
Yeah. No, I've got nothing else either. Except put it for fucking PlayStation for PC, fuckers.
Do it, and make the monies. Do it.
Make the monies. Do something you've not done this generation yet, and make the money. I think that's a good place to call it. What do you guys think? We're sorry, guys. It's been a wait, Gray. Thoughts on people calling the Dead Space remake to be woke? I think they're fucking idiots. I saw something about that about the mixed bathrooms when they clearly never saw Dead Space Downfall because they were in there too. Fucking morons. And plus also people turn around saying they made Nicole ugly. Bitch, you do realize she's probably in her 40s because Isaac Clarke by that point in Dead Space is actually about 40 years old as well. So, you know, she looks like she's in about her 40s. People are just grasping at bullshit to be fucking upset about because they're massive fucking bellends.
The only thing I don't like about the Dead Space remake is that Isaac talks.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Part of it is like it's like since he didn't talk, we kind of had to come up with our own thing of like, you know, I don't know what his voice sounds like outside of his breathing and his death modes.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, Isaac's like 43, 44 fucking years old in Dead Space.
His back hurts.
Oh yeah. Somehow he looks younger than he did in the original Dead Space, which is fucking hilarious because if you take that into consideration, you want to know that I believe he was on Titan Station for 5 years, which would make him about 49 years fucking old in Dead Space 2. He is a fucking that's why we turn around and say 40's the new fucking 20. He is the reason why.
So wait. He's almost 50 years old in Dead Space because that game, bro, that game will age you anyway. Like, okay, he went in there 50. He about 70 by the time that damn game's over, bro. He's been
Yeah.
saying some shit.
Oh yeah. It's fucking stupid. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our outro. So, Nappy, where can people find you, my friend?
All right. So if you guys want to look for me, you guys can go in that YouTube search bar and just type in Nappy Senshi. I will pop up. You will see that I do a bunch of controller reviews. The recent controller review I did was the controller of the Baton Azuro 2 Pro controller, or it's on sale for $30. And for $30, this is a easily recommended controller. Very accurate joysticks. Has a very low input latency, lower than most wire controllers. So yes, definitely go on my channel, check this out. Also coming soon is I'm working on a mobile controller review. So I became a mobile gamer now. And there are some hidden gems. Look, there are actually some hidden gems in the mobile market I didn't know of. I was shocked. And
Like,
also this
like a Dead Space game. A Dead Space game for mobile as well.
Yeah, there is a Dead Space. It's like $10 and it works great on the controller. Also, emulation is great. Got Final Fantasy X running smoothly on my phone S22. So look forward to this controller review as well. And you can get it in the black and white. So, and also you can find me on Twitter as well. I'm not arguing with people as much, and actually I'm starting to be some cool people that don't argue and call you stupid for an opinion.
That's true.
Right.
You are very low key on these Twitter streets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Left them.
It's all mine.
I left Twitter Street.
Yeah,
There's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, these people get like you say something different, they just like fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about, you stupid. I'm like what? What
Has
Chill.
anybody? Okay, I'm curious. Maybe I'm overstepping, but I'm very curious. Given that it's Twitter, has anybody thrown the N-word your way yet? Because you haven't experienced Twitter until someone ignorant and fucking retarded has done that.
Surprisingly, no one has thrown the N-word at me.
Very surprised. Very surprised. All right, Jubei, where can people find you?
So yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. Follow me on Twitch. I've been doing my my playthrough of like a Dragon Ishin that I'll be picking up a Legend of Dragoon tomorrow, along with Atomic Hearts, and probably gonna close the week out with some
Legend
Final
of
Fantasy VII
Dragoon?
remake. Yeah, it's coming to PS Plus
Oh,
as
okay.
a classic. I'll be able to play that starting tomorrow for like the 5th time in my life. But on a machine that's capable of streaming that's not a PC. So there you go. Yeah, should be a good time. Yeah, Ishin's really, really dope. Be stuck on that for a while. The mini games are gonna get me.
All right, cool. Farewell, where can people find you?
You can find me deep in the streets of Midgar. You can find me anywhere you like to watch streamers at the Land of Pharaoh and on Twitter at Pharaoh Bizarre.
All right, Omar, where can people find you? Good talk, Omar.
I guess you'll find them in dead silence.
Yep, you'll find him in the dead space. Right, so you can find me at Dante Crisis on Instagram and Twitter, the Dante Crisis on Facebook, as well as Dante Crisis on YouTube and Twitch. My streaming schedule is still messed up because I have a really, really terrible internet service provider, but my content on YouTube, you can currently find me doing a playthrough of Dead Space and Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil with a playthrough of South Park The Fractured But Whole coming very soon. So, yep. Zero, where can people find you? But more importantly, my friend, where can people find us?
Well, guys, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit here and chop it up and chat with you and everybody in the chat itself.
Don't lie to
You
me.
can find me, of course. Well, absolute pleasure is the wrong word. It's been a phenomenal pleasure.
There we go.
I apologize. I'm getting accustomed to the new year. I gotta work some things out. But of course, you can find me 0x386 or 0.exe pretty much everywhere. Existing in Twitter, existing on PlayStation until Destiny comes, and that is where you will find me almost exclusively up until then. Oh, and on Apex because they just added Team Deathmatch, so I'm having an absolute blast with that.
What? Hold on, they added what?
Oh, hold
Oh,
on,
yeah,
team
you didn't know?
deathmatch.
Yeah, they added it's I think 6v6 or 5v5.
Wait, is
It's
it like
basically
Titan?
just
Is
called-
it like Titanfall's 2's deathmatch? If it's without the robots, if it's like Titanfall's 2 deathmatch, they may got something.
I don't know what Titanfall's 2 deathmatch.
I might need to boot up Titanfall 2 tomorrow. Nappy, you win. I love how that zoomed in on your fucking shocked face. Then that was brilliant.
Yeah,
because I mean, it plays like Apex, just
So basically, plays like
you
fucking
die.
Titanfall.
I'm about to say what?
Well, one of the big things about Titanfall though was like the wall running, which Apex does not have.
So, well,
I mean,
technically, it does to get up walls. To get up to higher elevation, it still does.
True.
It needs wall running though. It's stupid that it doesn't have it. Like that would have
it-
changed so much about that game. Ugh.
if that game, if it had wall running and team death, what?
I'm booting that up right now. I'm finding out.
I'm about to download that right now. I'm downloading Apex Legend right now.
Well,
Okay,
Team
Apex.
It's a great time. It really changes Apex and makes it fun.
I
Although
might-
unfortunately, it makes some characters a little bit more worthless than others. But that's just how it goes.
Oh yeah, because you've still got your hero abilities.
Yeah,
Team deathmatch with those hero abilities. That'd be interesting.
It's like my favorite character unfortunately is a little bit functionally worthless, and that's Loba. But you can still find room with her to make it work. But your lifelines, your Gibraltars, your Pathfinders, they're still pretty excellent when it comes to just like straight gunplay. So it's a really good time. It's a great addition to the game. Hopefully, it's a permanent addition.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
outside of
check that out.
if when you're not playing Apex, then or even if you
Aplex. I've never heard of Aplex.
Aplex.
if you are playing Apex, give our podcast a listen to while you're doing it. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, pretty much anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. And hopefully, we will become one, or we're already one of your favorite podcasts. So you already know where to find us. As always, guys, we certainly appreciate you listening. Literally could be doing anything else, but you decided to listen to us. So we always appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes. And remember to keep it gaming. Okay, we out of
Right.
here. Peace.
Peace.
Remember though.
I got you.